This is even more cool. I mean, it's so smart. A cerebral play because he knows, you know, they've gotten 2 kills outside. There was a return kill, so there's only 2 players left to watch for any kind of a push like this. He's going to have a fast flank if they go upper. He's going to be at an off angle if they try and go ramp room. This is going to be very difficult to deal with.
We'll see how well they can control this one. Taco's stuck almost. He's in a really tough spot, and there it is. Karrigan's position, that very cerebral, very smart play from him, that positioning was perfect. And AZ's found coldzera. Sadly for Taco, he was waiting for some sort of play, some sort of support, something to set him up. But now it's all on him. A 1v4, he's got room to work with, but this is very, very difficult. One peek in the wrong place, just a second of timing not in his favor, and he's done for. Alu just jump peeking it. Going to spot it out. Taco finds him. That's, I guess, a step in the right direction, but there's going to be a lot more steps here on what might be a mountain, but there's a leap. Taco just completely eviscerates Keo, and now it's in a 1v2. A little more possible, but look at the time, 25 seconds. A smoke and a flash is all he has, but he needs one more kill here.
He's going to go up vents, isn't he? That's going to be the scary thing. He just has to go for it. So no, he's actually going to come out towards...
Is he?
Oh, no, he's not. He's baiting it out.
This
so
is
smart.
sick.
He's got 4 kills. He has to go for the ace here. He's got to get all 5.
Did he spot him?
I don't know if he spotted him, but either way, he's making the right read. He knows he has the smoke down lower, so Taku's showing off all the skills right now in a one-on-one with Karrigan.
This could be huge. This is what you need, but it's still Karrigan. This man is certainly aware of what could be coming his way, so every single position he checks, every angle contains a threat. But would you predict Taco to take a fight here? Confidence aplenty, and we'll see if it pays off, and he gets it! That's a sick ace from Taco. That is not what you see every day. And to be fair to FaZe, they didn't even make that many mistakes. Taco was on point.
Yeah, I mean, the one tap up towards heaven, that's dirty, but just that in that 1 or 2, the outplay, the smoke down lower, the broken vent, baits one player down into vents, easy kill for him, and then wins the one-on-one as well. I mean, when you're stuck like this in this kind of situation for so long in this half, that's where you say, all right, our star players got to make a play, and you expect it to be Fallen. You expect it to be cold. Taco with the big-time play there, obviously.
That was absolutely beautiful to watch. Watch that one back again and again and again, because that was something to really enjoy. But FaZe going to switch it up. Going to go for a little bit of aggressive play, and it pays off. Alu there to find Taco of all people, and of course, there it is. Again, a 5v4. Rain pops himself up on his perch, loves a bit of it. Peeks out, spots out Fallen, and I think, again, the plan becomes slightly unraveled.
I mean, that's a nice jump for information. Just Rain is playing so well outside. SK with this heavy emphasis towards the outer yard, Rain is just doing so many different things to beat them. Alu's brought down very low, and Fur's being so cautious. As soon as the smoke fades as well, AZ can get into the fight, so they re-smoke it. That's nice timing.
And that's a nice angle. He was watching that upper catwalk to see if anyone was pushing Alu. Something that we've seen SK Gaming do before, when in their pistol round, for example. He can't watch it much longer, and that's why Alu falls. But Rain's still in a position. He can still cause so much trouble, but FaZe, or should I say Rain, that is almost perfect from him. coldzera get down to 21 HP here. It's a 3v2. It's still possible for SK. They're in some decent spots considering where Fur is, but no armor, but he still lands it. Okay, he's got the AWP now as well, so this gets a little more interesting, but where is that bomb? Well, should I just say under wraps from FaZe at this point. Locked it down.
The issue is, again, Rain outside. It's the 2 kills are huge, obviously, but buying so much time for that double push through Secret for the FaZe side of things. Once that comes into play, you could just see it. There's no way SK expects that. And this is just sick from FaZe. They're taking so much initiative on the CT side. It's not just sit back and wait and see. They're going and taking these kills, and now SK, they get reset. I mean, it's the last round of the half, so they have to buy no matter what. But what can they even bring into this fight? They have pistols. They have a UMP on FNX.
I'm lost for an answer, and I can imagine SKR as well. Just going to go for a quick hit towards upper, and burn, baby, burn. The mollies come in. Rain not going to douse that one at all. And still, SK looking for options, desperate for anything here, because FaZe have had it all. And Rain not even tested yet, still keeping control. AZ in the spot again, that's been paying off, and then some. One player does slip through, though, but there's still support around the place here. FNX and First still stand, but burning alive, and there it is. A complete slaughterhouse in the end. And it will end up at 12-3 on the half. And I've got to say, that was an absolute clinic of how to play Nuke here.
Yeah, absolutely was. A brilliant CT side out of them. SK really only had success in the 2nd and 3rd round, and it was all FaZe and Rain from there.
Let's see how well this goes on the second half now for SK. 12-3 on the half, and it's not to SK. FaZe absolutely turning up here and giving us a clinic as to how to play that CT side. Beautiful work.
Yeah, where's this FaZe team come from? This is dirty. You put an in-game leader on this team. We've been asking for it for a year. Now they got one. This is pretty sick. Yeah, this isn't too shabby. And if they can establish Nuke as a map that they're going to be dominant on, that's going to be something that they can use in their pool. That makes them even more dangerous because got a couple other maps they're looking very, very strong on as well. And they're on their way to just bulldoze their way through this group.
Well, let's see if they can close out in style here, or at least keep it nice and clean for themselves. A beautiful display thus far, but the T-side is always a bit of a tough task to get under your belt in any sort of clean fashion. And for SK, it's do or die time for them. 3 rounds is not much to work with. It's possible it is still Nuke to a degree, but no errors is the big thing that's going to be coming up here. And let's see what they bring on that T-side here now, FaZe.
X just blows out the vent, so looking like there might be a small fake towards the upper bomb site. It looks like the bomb, though, they're going to go towards ramp room no matter what, and that's a good find from Taco. Holding it down, 1 kill for him. That seemed to be a fake, though. A little bit of pressure applied. It didn't pull any rotations away because Taco stops it, so now they've got to deal with a lot. Fur on top of the hut. He's going to get 1, but he's traded immediately. Keo had a quiet first half, but he's coming up big here, but Fallen and Cold stopped things short. And even Taco getting a second, so SK, they keep themselves alive. That is a crucial pistol round.
Yeah, if there was a pressure moment, that's certainly going to be one. Yeah. So for them, first step in a really nice direction. They need to be, very, very robust, though. They can't deal with being reset here. This is a big round for them. I'm
glad we saw that pistol round before I spoke, because I was going to say that FaZe, we saw the T side from SK being a little bit more cerebral and like strat and tactical. I expected FaZe to just come out and just put an emphasis on trading and not try and do anything finesse. And they almost throw like a little bit of a double fake, it seemed like, with smoke towards upper and then a ramp pressure. And they just lost too many players before they could really get into that site.
How is Rain here? How's he got that far? That was a little dangerous, but it's kept in check at the end of the day. And there you go. Nice shutdown from FNX. Takes down 3. That's a big lockout. And now the threat seems to have been removed. Almost quelled by this point. You're down to Carrigan, and no discredit to him. A 1v5 is pretty tough at the moment, especially when you get dinked almost there. And there you go. Cold Zera's just dancing on the edge of that peak, and Fur will find it with the P90. And this, again, is good for SK. Clean rounds. SMG's picking up the kills. You need everything going your way here.
Yeah, I know. Not to harp on this too much, but I would have liked to see FaZe with this big of a lead just saving that second round. Go into the 4th round, have your AK-47s, have all the nades that you need, because this next one, it is the T side, so it's going to be a little bit easier to manage if they get a plant that's going to help out. But why even put yourself in a weird money situation in that first gun run? It can be so important. You only need 4 rounds to win.
No, absolutely. It could be a point down the line where they sit back and go, yeah, we probably should have kept that in mind. A bit of an awkward one, but for them at the moment, they still have rounds to play with.
They're also going to have to deal. We saw Fur with this P90 just basically push up through ramp room or push up through hut and just flank on top of silo. SK is going to make a lot of these plays to start this second half. Until they can inch this closer together, they're going to take some of those bigger risks, those bigger gambles, and FaZe is going to have to be very aware of that.
SK with it all to do still, and FaZe just maybe talking things out as well. They've got time to kind of work their way into this one. No real rush at this point. They have nothing to play with in this round, barring a P250. So really, it's if they can find someone, if someone gets caught out, that'd be pretty impressive to actually pull off. But it's highly unlikely. So Taco just be spraying away, looking for any sort of connection, even if it be through the wall. It doesn't really matter, and they're retaining their utility too, so they shouldn't be caught out here. And it looks like you'll just run at ramp and hope for the best. And they're going to force Taco off the angle. That's not bad. He can fall back, puts the molly down, buys a bit of time, adjusts the aim well, and claims Carrigan. There's the follow-up 3. Gorgeous stuff from Taco. Yes, they don't have armor, but this man, good stopping power for him, and not bad to get him confident, but loses out to a Glock in the end.
That's a bummer. That would have been the ace.
Taco. Did they recover the M4? No, they didn't either.
All right, well, good hold from Taco, holding it down just all on himself, and at that B bomb site, which we saw him attacking. very intimate knowledge of that ramp room. And now comes the big test, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of economy. I mean, look at Keo, only a smoke. I mean, they're very, very low on flashes, only 3 of them across 3 different players. No AWP on Alu. So, I mean, some hit in terms of their utility from the economic side of things, and they're going up against an AWP on Fallen. Fur and Cold with these SMGs are going to get aggressive. They're going to have a lot of mobility to them. So some danger here. And again, this is some of those risks that we're going to see SK taking. Look at this angle from Taco. That's very, very nice.
To be fair, this is something that SK has done previously, only from ramp room that I'd kind of note. He does like to push up here. He likes to get a little bit of control towards radio, possibly, and then back away from it. Why not do it? It worked out well, as you saw before, but it's something that maybe they're going to start predicting soon. But Taco already going to fall back towards the ramp. Has to play this well. Can't outsay his welcome. He tries it, though. There it is. A good pick up towards Rain, and instantly Fallen is there. We saw Alu being perfect at this, but no, Keo bangs out a shot, considering how he got treated before by Taco. That's a shot he wanted back as well. So now down to the 4v4. You've already got Taco down in a good position. He fell back earlier here, but FaZe still has a lot of room to play with.
Yeah, but he's out in the open. Taco has to win these fights. Is FaZe actually going to clear this out? I don't know. Oh, there's Carrigan, the drop down. Taco can do nothing, and we don't see very many good rotations. AZ's occupying F and X. He can't get in there to support. At SK, they're out of this round. They have a P90, they have a UMP. But, I mean, first so far away. So while we saw FaZe with the crisp rotations on the CT side, SK here to start out in this first gun round is not the same.
No, and I almost feel for Fallen in that situation. He could have changed so much there. Even just getting 1, 2 maybe would have been huge. Even just anything. I
thought he was actually going to go for that peak. He was actually pretty safe in how he took that angle. I thought he was actually going to go for more, but the communication that Taco is just following, he probably made out the call, just abandon ramp room, let him have it. So the safe off angle is taken, and Keo just proves that it actually is not that safe.
They're going to try and make some sort of great escape here. I'm going to take a little bit of, I guess, some bodies on the way. AZ's going to fall, but there is a man, if I'm not mistaken, above him, and it is Alu on the perch. But again, you don't want to lose too much here for himself. 16 HP as that bomb does explode, and it will mean the coldzera does at least get to keep the AK, and actually that will drop out Fallen towards the AWP here. So that's quite important to see, and actually FaZe's money still not good for themselves here. Perfectly fine for a buy, but still, nothing really to fall back on, barring the fact they have 13 rounds. So they've got a fair bit still.
Well, I mean, yeah, SK just can't lose this one. Then they're out of money. Then they're really in trouble. So the last round was cool because FaZe actually got AZ down in those stairs, and instead of like the group effort that SK put into taking lower, he was just there as a lurker, there to cut off those rotations down vent, there to be a nuisance, and he's kind of like in a swing position. Once he gets to those stairs, he can come up and go outside towards Mini. He can go all the way down secret to the lower bomb site and help him out. So a couple different options when he gets in that position, especially because the main attack was not outside.
And Rain, they're using basically nades to take down both of the windows at once, and now FaZe can go for whatever they want to here. So Skylight's gone. Mollies are pretty much a plenty. Here comes the hit. So the 2 players setting up and 2 more running through, Keo being one of them, Rain being the other, and there's the entry. Massive work. Fur goes down, and look at this hit. All-encompassing, very hard to play back in toward, and SK are being dominated here. FaZe get it all for themselves. Bomb is now planted, and Taco and Fallen, where are you?
That execution was so nice, and SK had no indication it was coming. There was only 1 player in that site. Such an easy take. Molotovs everywhere to clear out all the good spots, on top of the cross beams, on top of hut. No one is going to be in those positions whatsoever. That's sick. And Fallen and Taco, I mean, as we said, the economy for SK is gone, so they're just back in CT spawn. They have to save these guns. And now they're on the back foot. I mean, this is all they're going to have. Cold will be able to buy something, but, I mean, outside of this, they're in a very tough spot now on the CT side.
Yeah, this is almost, I'd say, not even first nail in the coffin. This is about 3rd or 4th at this point. SK, this is dig deep time. This is not fun times going forward. Money's going to be poor, and we know what can happen when you don't have that full money for that utility either. It becomes incredibly hard to stop players, and if FaZe already bringing up executes like this, look at this play. Okay, so on top of the huts, mollied, on top of sort of that new area, the little additional catwalk right across the middle on rafters, and straight away, Rain. What a powerful play from him as well.
One of the players dropped down vents. I'm wondering what was the indication that something was coming outside, and then Cold was stuck behind the smoke, obviously. So they just, that execute, the timing of it was just so perfect for that defensive SK. Everyone was going away from that upper site. So yeah, I mean, I think that was Fur that was just left all by his lonesome.
Poor old Fur. Yeah, not fun times now ahead.
No, not at all. Not at all if you're SK.
No, to be fair, I thought that if we were going to see FaZe win, it'd be off the back of really good individual mechanical skill, doing very well for themselves. But it seems that Carrigan really has had quite a nice effect to them already. It looks like their approach seems just very nicely robust.
And when you think about it as well, like the key to the good CT side rotations that we saw in a FaZe, I mean, with every team, all those rotations, that's all how well your communication is. And this is a team that is known for having multiple different primary languages involved in it, players from all different countries. So the communication, the comms, that was one thing that Kerrigan mentioned was a little bit tricky when he first joined. And now look at this, just picking up the pace. It's just going to be a rush towards the upper, the shotgun. This needs to come into play, and it is. There goes Kerrigan. No one else has made it out. Shotgun still going for more. Finds Q and finds Alu. 3 kills with the shotgun, and Fur saves SK for now.
I hate that spot for that one thing, whether it was MBK originally, Hiko doing this. So many times you see this happen. And I guess it's what's happened when you don't molly that sort of spot out. It allows players like this to do stuff like that on money that isn't phenomenal. So there's your window of opportunity now for SK. That's got them back in this game.
Yeah, and it's just a bummer for FaZe. They can't molly that top of hut when they do that fast of a tactic. So really, it's actually Fallen who gets, the first kill that slows that down, that doesn't allow anyone to swing out wide on that bomb site and really have a good angle on the shotgun at top hut. There's that nade again to break out multiple windows. So this could be a quick execution again.
Yeah, we'll see if they go for the same sort of thing. This looks a little different here. Kerrigan just ensuring that, Alu's work was good with the nade. Just taking out everything possible now. So, again, though, SK will sat there going, we don't know what they're doing. They've been doing this every round. They've done so much here. They've done the upper windows. They've done the smoke towards outside. But coldzera spotted out a little bit of trouble afoot. 3 players coming towards Secret. Rain being the first to fall, I can imagine here. Peeks over, instantly taken down. The flash not quite working out well enough. And Fallen still there checking as well. So T-Red's got 2 players in it, but they've got to be careful. Bomb is out there.
That's a nice support flash from Fallen to prevent FaZe from pushing in on Taco now. He's going to have pressure. Is he aware? Is he ready? He adjusts nicely on a Kerrigan. He can't find Keo, though. But still, a lot of damage is dealt. It's a 4-on-3. And FaZe is in no position to take advantage of any kill they've gotten on Taco.
I'm wondering if Fallen's backed away towards spawn side, so waiting for this, and I wonder if Alu's going to try and swing out at the right time, try and find a bit of play here. Again, trying to support that bomb that's left on AZ.
This is where the strength for the CT side on Nuke can come into play, because this is with the man advantage, you turtle up, and that's a nice find from Fallen. He's just peeking outside, gets the information, but pretty much all 3 players centralizing the bomb sites because of the vertical rotation. It's so quick, so just make sure, let him have outside, let him have ramp room, and just prevent any of the plants from coming in.
And as you could already see, Fallen was considering the spot where Keo was anyway, so this becomes a little bit more difficult. And then some. AZ's going to have to do something pretty impressive here, but Keo still finds Fallen. I'm not sure how that worked out. Maybe timing. He may have looked away at the wrong time, and Keo just came around. And that's opened up a little bit of a chance here now. And I mean a little, because there's still so many players left standing for the CT side, and purely in good positions, not allowing FaZe to get a cheeky plant or get any sort of power towards that last couple of seconds in the round.
So many different locations at that point FaZe has to clear out, even in 2-on-3. So nicely done. I think that forces a little bit of a rebuy of the AWP. I don't think they salvaged it. They might have.
I think coldzera drew. Who was it who dropped it? I'm pretty sure someone dropped it over. Or maybe coldzera just picked it up and dropped it out the ball. I'm pretty sure I saw him.
Still, either way, still a long way to go for SK. And they have 3 players who are pretty beat up on money. So if these Deagles have any success on the FaZe side of things, any kills they get here are extremely valuable. SK needs to keep as many players alive in this round. It's critical for them moving forward.
Not going to find too much there yet, Rain. There's a couple of players on the other side, and FNX, thank God there's another wall between him and those shots. Cold as well. Nothing hitting, though. Rain's giving it a good try, and coldzera's there just, sweating bullets at this point. Just don't hit me with that. AZ is 1 spot's out. 1 performance quicker on the trigger there, and, of course, has an AWP, which is always a nice addition. Are they going for a run boost in here, or just a boost up top?
I think around the corner.
It was a run boost around the corner.
Yeah, well, it kind of works. Rain gets that kill. Kerrigan goes to salvage, but FNX is here holding down the fort.
Alu's got the bomb.
Yeah, he's gotten lower. He can get a plant here. I don't think anyone's here to prevent this. So, yeah, $800, extra $800 for FaZe. This is a very nice plant coming down from Alu. Unfortunately, with the Glock, he's got to feel pretty useless afterwards.
Yeah, like a chocolate fire guard. Not going to be able to do too much with that one.
Say a chocolate fire god?
Guard, yeah.
Okay.
You know when you've got a fireplace?
Yeah.
Just imagine a chocolate fire guard or a chocolate teapot. Okay. Both.
The idea is that it melts very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Is that a British saying?
The teapot one, certainly. I don't know about the fire guard, but we'll go for it. If you're wearing that nice jumper you had before, we could probably go down that road of, fire guards and such. But for now, 14-9, FaZe still on a very nice sort of round marker here. It takes very few mistakes, but SK are a team who certainly can achieve that. There's no one disputing that, but it takes a lot to be able to pull them through to this point. And again, they keep hold of the money they needed to. They didn't lose out on too much. Even though they got close with that bomb plant in the end, certainly going to give a little bit more towards FaZe now. Let's see what they can do. But Taco again, this is lovely. Again, pushing up, gets a little bit of nice control, a little bit more information, just a nice position they won't be expecting by this point. Hopefully.
I mean, doing what Kerrigan did to SK in the first half. So this is going to be tricky. If they don't clear this out, And I mean, sometimes there's no reason to really come this if your end goal isn't even towards ramp room. So he's going to have a very quick flank. So you got to hope that, or if you're FaZe, you got to take this upper bomb site very quickly. You don't know this flank is going to come in. And here's Kerrigan leading the way. They finds him up top, but he gets blind at the wrong moment. And now this is going to be so much more difficult. There's Taco on the flank, getting 2 kills. AZ, last one left in a 1-on-4. Bomb is down and stuck behind smoke. What can you really expect from him here?
It was the same hit that we saw come out before. Rain last time really came through there. This time, no one rotated off that site. You still had Definex. And of course, as you highlighted, Taco on that quick rotate through from radio, pushing up through to pretty much right around the back.
And this is where you're going to see maybe SK able to claw themselves back in because they have the money now. And you can see how much more difficult it is to take this bomb site when you have utility. You can drop the Molotovs, you can drop the nades, you can throw the flashbangs into the air and slow down this hit. So a lot of tools now that SK has finally been able to afford in the second half.
It felt like it was a long time, this kind of very shaky, all right, we just got to keep holding on, and there it is. Finally, they've got the money, they've got everything they need. I'm not sure if I was going to hear everything boost-wise going on towards ramp, but again, in this round, you're down to Deagle's Tech 9s and P250s, a little bit of armor, or, 2 pieces of armor, should I say. So, again, not a great deal, but any sort of damage is good damage at this point. If they can get SK just off that money they're starting to build in any way, shape, or form, it's good. And Fallen's desperate for a peek towards that outside area, but it is pretty tricky on the CT side. A lot of passive AWPers actually finding a little bit more form here on this one, just purely because of the fact you can fall away so far, and there we go. Finds AZ, but it will mean that actually Rain gets a little closer than maybe you'd like.
Yeah, I thought Fallen was playing with fire there a little bit, not having eyes on outside that whole time. It actually looked like, FaZe was going for a boost on those rafters to be able to spot him. And now, 1 kill from Alu, he gets traded off and Cold's up top, so they know he's boosted up, but here's the flash, the drop as well. He gets dinked up, traded. 2-on-2 scenario as Fallen gets dropped outside from Rain.
He didn't see Rain.
Rain gets to warehouse.
It must have been kind of 4:3 sort of aspect ratio there, because you could see him pretty clearly, if I'm honest. So Rain's now been given a huge opportunity. He's got the AWP here, maybe not something you've known Rain for, and maybe going to see a switch. There it is. So Kia's going to pick that one up. Again, he has no armor, so it makes more sense for him as well. Rain's going to have the M4, and here we go, 2v2. This could be huge for these guys. Fur and FNX have to deal with what's coming their way now. Bomb's going to be planted, support coming in from up top. That's Rain, basically being this kind of bastion of defense coming through, and there it is. Bomb's now planted, and it's retake time for SK.
Oh, this is going to be awkward for Keo, though. Finding a position, he had to get away from danger from so many different angles. The timing of it, he spots FNX. Oh, the aim punch. He was scoped in, but he can't land it, and it's now Rain in a 1-on-2, and even he gets dropped. Fur picking an opportune moment to pounce. A chance there for FaZe. That got dicey, but a plant and a lot of damage done to the SK side.
Rounds around though. Again, SK get another on the board. They keep the AWP up, but I want to see the state of their money. If it's it's pretty decent now. Okay, that's good. That is very good for them. So they can actually weather the storm now. But for FaZe, they've got a really nice purchase coming in just a couple of seconds after this pause. Maybe a time for discussion because SK have stabilized.
Yeah, and this is all off the back of finally getting enough money. You can see they struggled in the first couple of rounds. That shotgun round from Fur, obviously building up huge bonus money as well when he got 3 kills, and from there it's really been all SK. So now they're starting to get a little bit of confidence, their feet under them, and now they're just grinding it back.
Sorry, what was that?
Grinding it back.
Grinding it back. Just wanted to clarify that one.
Third time's a charm.
It always is. But no, this is getting a little bit closer now. This is getting a little bit more exciting for me, at least, to seeing that SK have managed to get, as you highlighted, all that money beside them. Now I guess they don't fall to that kind of, well, Rain's just running up her and just take down someone. Or it doesn't feel as though FaZe have that explosive power that I was kind of expecting them to. Again, Alu's not been huge yet on the T side, comparison to maybe what he was doing on the CT side. But again, it's tough on the T side. This is the best buy they're going to have in a little bit of time now. So 14-11, this is a big chance for FaZe to close. But SK have a good read. They have good play so far. It looks like AZ speeding things up. And oh my word, Alu, a second's difference could have defined a lot about this round. But everyone stays alive. And again, Taco going walkabouts. Keo, will you know what's coming your way now?
This is one of those gimmicky plays that, because Nuke is so new into the map pool and not widely played, Keo might not be expecting this, but he spots him. The timing to pull out the nade, and Taco almost gets punished, but he does fall back. I want to see FaZe. One thing they can exploit, because we've seen in this CT side, the rotations from SK haven't always been solid or on point when they have to go down to that lower bomb site. So it'd be interesting to see FaZe do that same kind of wall of smokes and a mass walk towards Secret, much like what SK was doing to them in the first half.
Yeah, no one's been jumping on that post just yet. It's just been coldzera, but coldzera can be pretty prevalent from this spot again, even though they have had pretty a sizable amount of losses on this map recently. He is still probably one of the players to keep your eyes on. Especially if he gets a bit of play here, but surely either Alu or AZ is going to have to keep in mind that this is a possibility. The flash comes in, doesn't really set up Cold Zero, but he does take a wider peek, so spots that no one's up on that catwalk. Alu, though, going to go up on towards T-Red, checking for that ult presence. Is Fallen going to dare to do it? No, but Cold Zero picks his time well, and there it is. Alu goes down, but the response comes in. Finally, FaZe on even kind of playing field here, 4v4.
Yeah, and AZ's even lurking outside. So in fact, he's going to come out of vent. So I mean,
Where
this
is
bomb
Rain?
can get planted. Yeah, they're all down in lower bomb site. They've taken this, so the bomb's going to get planted. AZ's position is so strong, especially Keo with that kill. Good find, good awareness, and Taco's out. Or I mean, excuse me, Cold's out. And that Molotov is going to slow everything down. So AZ, this is perfect for him.
He doesn't wait. He takes the shot while he has it, and Fallen just doesn't respond. Maybe accepting his fate by that point. And now 1v4 FNX. You got to go big or go home. And there it is. 15 rounds now sitting with FaZe. They've finally broken back in. 4 staying alive. And I don't know what to say. That's got to hurt for SK Gaming here.
That's a kick in the teeth. So that really, really hurts because, I mean, nice kill on a Taco, and that's the thing. This is where the rotations come into play because we saw that kill come out on Taco, and it was basically a 4-on-4 after Cold gets this kill as well, but there was no one in the lower bomb site. As soon as that kill from Taco, the bomb's being planted like 10 seconds later. No one getting down there to stall things out, no one having any kind of presence whatsoever, so a little bit worrying that SK hasn't been able to get into this lower bomb site in time on the defense.
Keo.
That's one of those low percentage
Ouch.
fights. If DDK was here, it'd be, you know, he'd be like, what's the plus minus EV expected value of this play? If you were playing poker, this would not be a good play to make. Low winning percentage.
No, but Keo, Taco's been pushing up every round, and of course that round he just trickles that nade right into the pocket of Keo. So that's not a fun one to be on the receiving end of, but nonetheless it's good for SK finally getting a non-traded beginning here. No one to answer back. Rain not going to find that frag to kind of pull things back to that 4v4. This time around, we're in this nice advantage for SK. They can keep some control. Taco hasn't had to fall back yet, but spots out Rain and plays it well already. Keep himself in this round. There's still 2 players about to encroach towards him if Alu joins Rain, that is. But Taco's in a good spot again, but Alu, where is it? Why? Fallen was pushing up towards lobby?
Yeah, I mean, he just gives the frag right back. FaZe didn't have to go searching for that. So the equalizer, and there's Rain on to first. And now everything's starting to collapse. The upper bomb site, it's going to be lost pretty soon. And Kerrigan, he knows what's coming. AZ with another kill. There's Kerrigan finally, and it's just down to Taco. He knows what's coming. He hears it, and that's going to be it. Kerrigan shuts it down. A double kill for him in the last. And FaZe take out SK 16-11.
That scoreline is just...
That play from Fallen, this is a team that's generally... we've always sung their praises when they've been such a strong team that they're so good at man advantage situations, they just don't lose them. So it's very curious to see Fallen giving up that kill.
I don't know if he overread into maybe Taco's call, saying, okay, they're coming ramp, they're at radio, maybe trying to do more, but a very dangerous sort of approach there to go, well, I'll just push Hut, go into lobby. It's, you know, again, those kind of risk-reward things, and this time he gets very, very punished for it.
Yeah, extremely punished. But I mean, speaking of punished, that was a punishing first half. That CT side from FaZe was so incredible. Yeah,
their map pool is going to be starting to look more and more robust, and that becomes a little bit troublesome for everyone else sitting in that group side as well, because, you know, FaZe coming into this probably wouldn't be the team you'd put right at the top. You'd say they're certainly a contender, but I wouldn't say above SK.
Coming into this, I doubt there are many people who picked FaZe to like win this or just outright destroy this group.
No, absolutely not. But so far, they've certainly looked like a team who's been, you know, able to turn up and then some. Looking very good today. I think the matter of consistency and be able to turn up throughout this tournament will be something we'll be looking at. Be able to kind of keep this sort of pressure up will be very impressive. But that's yet to be seen. It looks like they are looking probably the safest in this group so far. I'm pretty sure they're almost into playoffs here at this point already.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty close to certain, I believe.
I can imagine, what, have they got 4 wins so far?
Yeah, they're 4-0.
Yeah, they are definitely sorted. I can imagine FaZe then, a little bit of sweat off the brow, they'll be comfortable with that one and a very good performance, and looking like their map pool is even better. But I can imagine the analysis area has something about to say about that one, I can imagine. So Alex, take it away.
Will do, guys. Yes, no doubt they were safe. In fact, they were probably safe with 3 under their belt. But picking up the 4th and now looking oh so scary ahead of coming into the playoffs now. I mean, this is a win versus SK Gaming. And SK Gaming that just got a revenge versus Cloud9. This is FaZe on a level that I don't think was anticipated by any coming into this tournament. This is such a quick rise from the ashes, really.
Yeah, and even at the iBuyPower tournament, I mean, they look strong, they look good, but definitely not a team that we would think would just be 4-0 right now, especially being SK. I think, you know, SK, I said it during the pregame, I think it was a mistake to leave Nuke in there. It's not their most played map. They usually ban it, so I was a little surprised by that, but I mean, Rain was incredible, man. That guy was absurd.
But this is what's so beautiful is when every time we come to a post-match with FaZe is we find ourselves singing someone else's praises. It's AZ, what a game on Overpass. Rain, what a game on, on Nuke. We've even sat there saying the same thing about Alu. I mean, we're working our way through their roster. These individuals, as you would expect, have been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and I mean, there's...
Let's do this! Welcome along to the Intel Extreme Masters 2016 from here, the Oracle in Oakland. And having been to the Intel Extreme Masters in North America the past couple of years, I can say these have been my favorite events. Why? Well, the CS has been amazing, but you, You have made it as a crowd. You're loud, you're enthusiastic, you know your shiz. Basically, you're all my spirit animal, and we are in for a treat over the next couple of days because we have 4 teams playing off today to make it through to the finals, and then we will crown a champion, the Intel Extreme Masters Oakland champions. They will win the lion's share of $300,000. They will also get to take home that, which is a trophy come pizza platter, which is made from real silver. It's true. About 3 grams of silver. That will be on eBay within seconds. It won't be, obviously it won't be. So then, welcome along. Let's get on with this today, our quarter-finals day. What do we learn from the group stages? We now know that CS is at such a point that anyone can beat anyone at any time. Teams who have won big tournaments haven't made it through to this. Teams you would call underdogs, well, they are here playing today. So then, Oakland, I want to hear a yeah if you're ready for the quarterfinals. Let me hear you. Let me hear a hell yeah. Yeah, let's do this. Please welcome to the stage the first quarterfinalist. That is G2. So here we are, quarter-final day. Talk me through the group stages. How do you feel you played?
Not so good, not so bad.
Really? There's one player on your team who I think has been the focus of a lot of stuff going online at the moment. He played beautifully. He played like he had something to prove.
Yeah, but overall, like for us, he doesn't have anything to prove, and that's why he's on our team, and he will prove it again today.
So talk me through the team you're playing. They have won the last 2 majors. How'd you beat them?
The thing is, like, we beat them at ECS. It was in June, so we know we can beat them. It will really depend on how the map goes and stuff, but still, they are really friends outside the game. So anyway, if we lose or if we win, I mean, I prefer to lose against them than against another team.
They might be friends outside of the game. What are they right now?
Totally enemies, and we're gonna crush them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Shox. Thank you very much, buddy. So they are the first of our quarter-finalists. They need someone to play. They are from down south. They have won the last 2 majors. They are SK Gaming! Listen to that reception. Talk me through. It's the same question I asked before. How do you feel you played in the group stages?
Hello, everyone. Feels awesome. I think the most important thing when you play a group stage is to get out of it. So no matter if we get out in first or second or third, it's always a hard match, and we're going to play G2, so we're feeling great for today.
Because you struggled, there was a part in the group stages you seemed to be struggling. There was a chance you weren't going to make it out, but it seems like the class is still there with you.
Yeah, it's always difficult. I mean, we got an upset from Heroic in the first group, in the first match. We're not expecting that, but then against FaZe, they played super well on the map we lost. And the other 3 matches, I think we did great, and we won off them. So, I don't know. Important, as I said, is to get out of it, and we did it.
I think looking at your lineup, people would say that you've never won an Intel Extreme Masters event, but you and one other player on your team have, haven't they?
Yeah, I think me and FNX in 2011 in New York, we won one of those plates. It was an IM America. It was pretty cool. One of my first international events that I won. So it would be quite amazing to win another one today.
Because you've been around for ages. Some people say, you know, wow, when you were Luminosity and the previous guys, they came out of nowhere. They won these 2 majors. You've been around winning events for ages. Maybe not on CSGO, but on CS.
Yeah, on CS 1.6 I've been playing since 2003, so it's 13 years already playing. My first international event was in 2009, so it's quite a long road to get there, and a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication to get there.
Fabulous. Listen, it's going to be great to watch you play. Please put your hands together for SK Gaming. So then, the teams are sat down, they've said they're enemies right now, friends outside of this, but right now, it's all about a best of three. So let's hand it over to a man who looks absolutely fabulous with those hot pink nails. It is your analyst, and let's start it off with the machine.
Thank you, OJ. Great stuff on stage. The plate shining makes your eyes just pop in those lights. Look great, as do my nails. I really, really don't regret this at all. I feel like I'm actually might make this a regular thing.
I just pity the people who, this is their first international CSGO tournament. They tune in and they look at us at the desk. You have pink nails. We all have mustache. I have a mohawk.
We've got male model Sam on the end just to kind of round it out.
Dave is the guy who like looks the most normal on the desk.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got.
That's what he's got going.
When he's representing us.
Well, it may look the most normal, but there's a guy in the crowd who literally has a giant face of me in there, so that kind of shakes it off too.
Okay, so I would advise keeping your distance from the man that carries a picture of your face. Probably, historically, not a good idea.
You should apply that to yourself, Alex, and your fans.
Maybe. Yeah, moving swiftly on. I mean, you know what I want to address, first of all, is the fact that, Fallen was saying that he was playing an IEM event all the way back in 2006. This is now 10 years of Intel Extreme Masters. 64 IEM events if you include this one.
You know what's actually the funniest thing, Alex? That I think it was WCG Pan America or something of the sort, and there's a picture of actually Fallen was playing with his team, and Cold Zero was just there watching, and he took a picture as a fan with Fallen. I think it was 2010 or around that time. And now they're playing together, and Cold is arguably the best player in the world, so that's amazing. That's
just an awesome storyline throughout this video game that we love. It's called, of course, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. If you're new here, we've got a lot to look forward to in our first best of three, and that's where we have to take this discussion. SK and G2 have made their way onto the stage, and now we have to understand how this one's going to go down. Starting with you, Sam. The words out of Shox' mouth, his friends out of game, enemies, we're going to crush them. I'm assuming you're taking that with a pinch of salt.
I didn't think he sounded too confident up there, I'm going to be honest. It seemed like he was a little bit shaky. I think he thinks that they are underdogs, and he probably knows that. And he is right. They definitely are.
And what is it that puts them out of SK's category in your mind?
Well, I think it's the map pool. It really is. Even on G2's best chances to win, I think, best case scenario, we're probably saying 50-50. And like I said earlier, if they've been banning, G2 has been banning Mirage first every time right now, which means that SK would pick Train, or maybe they gamble and they ban Train, which in that case, you would assume SK would pick Mirage. So you're going to assume that SK will probably start 1-0.
I mean, that's what's so scary is, admittedly, they are very, very recently aware of how Train feels versus SK Yanko. Over in Russia, we witnessed that historical number. The 16-0.
Yeah, the 16-0. That's the problem. Like you would say, if in another instance, maybe G2 would leave Mirage and ban Train, but they can't do it simply because that's a map that SK does play. And if it's a map you never play, you always veto it, you're not going to gamble like that. It's only a case if G2 feels so pressured to actually go for that, to not play Train, that they will actually let it through, and they feel they need to take that risk because otherwise they don't think they can, start 1-0 down in the series.
Let's start the vetoes now then, because this is going to be a huge part of our discussion. And so to outline to the guys at home what we have just said, will they really change their insta-ban? Will G2 not ban Mirage? You're saying no. Sam, you're suggesting the same, right? They're going to have to just ban Mirage and accept their fate?
I think they will. I think, they play Train a lot.
16-0.
I know, but they do play it a lot. It's a map that they do play. And you got to think their chances are probably better on Train than a map that they haven't played in a while.
The head-to-head is incredibly good, historically. I mean, that ECS final that Shox brought up, then they go full 3 maps over in Epicenter. They meet quite often at these big high-roller tournaments, 300,000, of course, for this one.
And that Epicenter matchup was after they lose 16-0 on the first map. They actually managed to come back on Dust 2, the second map, which is extremely difficult mentally to achieve. They also had that amazing best-of-5 series at Pro League Finals, Season 3 in London, too. So I think it's a matchup that G2 is, comfortable with, even if that sounds a bit silly considering how strong SK is, but they, as Shocks pointed out, they know that they can beat them, they know that they can play them. It's just that G2 for a while now has been pretty quiet in terms of results.
Yeah, a full 5 maps at the best of 5 of the Pro League Finals, a full 3 at Epicenter. G2 did manage to make it a quick 2-0 over on the ECS Finals in London. That was, of course, their home turf, it does seem. But let's bring up the vetoes and have a look where this one is going to go. G2 insta-ban Mirage seems to be the call, and it's going to be SK removing Cash. Make a lot of sense to you there, Sam?
Yeah, they've been banning Cash first all the time, so no surprise there. And of course, G2, you know, they did what we thought.
Yeah.
They left Train in the
now
pool.
Yanko picks.
I mean, you would say that SK is going to pick Train, that's the most likely thing, but actually even in Brazil, they had Train open in one of their series, and they actually didn't go for it. They went for Overpass instead. I don't think they're going to do it against G2, simply because they had such a dominating performance against them in Moscow. Now, when you look at G2 side of things, you would probably say, okay, they're going to pick Dust 2 because it's their most comfortable map, and I think G2, the team that they are, they will go for that pick, but you are wondering if perhaps they go for something like Nuke, right? Because SK hasn't shown much on Nuke, so maybe you think that they have a better chance on it.
We did see
exactly
2 G2 nukes, didn't we? Yep, okay. Going to be pulling out a Nuke and SK.
Because I agree with Sam, if G2 picks Dust 2, that's a map that is probably 50-50. It's not a map that SK is bad on, and simply the way the map works, it plays to SK's strengths as well. They have a great double op setup, they're very mobile, a proactive team, so they will move around on the CT side. So I think this is a good choice from G2.
100% win rate here at IEM Oakland on this map. I think they beat both Astralis and Liquid.
Alex, Shocks is giving one of his speeches.
He is.
If you guys have, like, you guys should Google or YouTube at, like, Shocks motivational speech. There's a one, like, a pretty good one, actually. It got me hyped.
Yeah.
But to turn, like, to the rest of the veto, right? You get the veto of Cobble from G2, and actually, it's interesting that SK with the last map choice, basically, they get to choose between Overpass and Dust 2. They actually let Dust 2 through, which is the most comfortable map for G2.
Yeah, actually, I think this veto is the best chance that G2 has to come out on top. I think leaving in Dust 2 and picking Nuke was extremely smart by them, because SK's second ban is most certainly going to be Nuke. They looked very, very shaky on Nuke versus FaZe, not just because they lost, but because their outer take, they got nothing from it. Rain completely just dominated them out there. But strategically speaking, they didn't look very strong.
So with all of that said, and the first map locked in as Nuke, you're right, the success does lean towards G2 on this first map. The curveball, looking like the French side have won the veto, if you want to call it that. I have to ask you how Nuke plays out. Were you expecting to see SK pick up, or rather, are you expecting to see SK bite back on the first map?
The thing is, yes, the maps are relevant, but it's more relevant which G2 shows up. It's always a case of, if they play well, I feel that it's been a while since G2 had a good run at a tournament. You know, it's very unlikely for them to be quiet for an extended period of time. I think another great thing is that Smith has been playing amazing this tournament. I think he has more than 100 ADR in rounds won for G2. He's been one of their most, if not the most impactful player. And Nuke is a map that plays to his strengths, I feel like. He can be more passive in holding angles on the CT side.
And so
G2 played very well. Excuse me, he played very well on Nuke as well earlier.
Yeah.
He top fragged for them and had over 100 DAR and was their best player on Nuke. So,
expecting G2 to pick this one up, boys? It has to be a short answer.
I think it's tough because SK is going to go up 1-0 on Train, and then G2 has like 2 50-50s on Nuke and Dust 2.
Yeah.
So I think SK is still favored, but not by as much because of this veto.
We will be back to talk about Nuke after the break, rather after it has been played out. So we're going to take a quick one. When we come back, it's going to be Anders and Semler to cast through Nuke between G2 and SK. The first game, the first map here in the Oracle Arena.
Intel Extreme Masters Oakland is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kingwin, iBuyPower, Best Buy, Totino's, Acer, and Xfinity.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready here with the first game that's going to be coming up today, SK and G2. It's going to be on Nuke. It's a best of 3, though, but what a great map to get started. We did see this a lot during the group stage, so all the teams should have a pretty good idea how it plays now.
It's fantastic to see, actually. Nuke, the latest map, added to the pool, and all of a sudden it's the second most played map in most group phases and most tournaments. Epicenter was the second most played after Cobblestone. That's nuts. It's one of the fastest rises we've seen out of a new map. Took months to get players to play Cobblestone and Overpass and Mirage right when they came out.
They are notoriously stubborn, those players, but once they get going, they certainly do. And the analysts were just telling us, actually, this might be the best map pool currently for G2 if they have to try and defeat SK. And that's exactly what they're gunning for here. SK going to be starting on the CT side, G2 on the terrorist side. So once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here. We are at the Oracle Arena, and it's going to be one hell of a beginning already. Look at SK pushing up into the lobby with 3 players looking for it here. Fur picking up the first kill. Cold Zero trying to see if he could maybe wrap around. It's going to be RPK with the refrag, but they don't realize they're getting flanked right here. Shox is out of the round, and now it's a 3-on-4 hiding in the corner. Scream trying to fight his way out. He's going to pick up 1 headshot. They need to defuse that bomb here. It's 2-on-3, and they're both grouping up. It's all on Scream. He gets one. Another headshot coming in. That's the triple, but he can't make it work. FNX will take him out, and there's plenty of time for the defuse.
Oh, that's so tough for Scream, and that really highlights CS. Sometimes, it's the luck of the draw. He doesn't realize that he's exposed to the window behind him. His positioning is just out of it, and FNX is able to hit the headshot through. Tough break for G2 because a T-start, you're starting T-side on Nuke. It's a notoriously CT-sided map. If you pick up that pistol, you get those 3 rounds, you're feeling a whole lot better about your game. Now, well, G2, at least they got the bomb plant. They didn't just get annihilated, but still, they missed the chance to get a really strong start on this map.
I guarantee you, Shox is going to be blaming himself for that one. He was sort of the backup there. He was meant to catch those people coming in from the radio room, and it just didn't work out as well as he'd wanted. So a bit of a shame. They did get the bomb plant, and they haven't invested into armor or anything here. So no big surprises coming up from G2. A lot of people up on that terrorist rooftop, though. We'll see if that's going to work out for them.
Yeah, they'll be setting it up. They can go ahead and break the windows, open up avenues to throw grenades onto that A site. They're really just trying to throw everything at SK right now to try and confuse SK, or at least teach them that, hey, there are these options. If you hear the windows go, now you're going to have to start guessing as to where we as a team are going to go on this map. But for now, at least, it is going to be G2 just working their way outside. They've invested a little bit in this round, very little, in fact. A Deagle picked up by Scream, no problem. I mean, if he can get some 1Ds, that's what he does.
Fallen, in fact, investing into a scout, so even though they probably know they're not going to be playing against armor, they still want to control this outside area. Fallen trying to get up, but they're actually already there, so he's in a bit of a weird position right now, sort of zoned out from the rest of his team. That's a good shot, though, and the UMP put into work, and a slow start, Sebler, but a really quick finish.
Yeah, that drops the bomb up there on high as well, so it's going to be Scream outside of the yard. He'll get caught out by Taco here in just a moment, unless Fallen hits the shot first. No, Taco from on high will find him. 2-0 lead now for SK Gaming on the CT side of Nuke, and, well, SK, they hardly take any damage that round, so this is a perfect start here for SK. But now G2, because they got that bomb plant in the pistol round, they have the money to go for the rifles. Only 4 grenades total, though. Unless Scream is going to have some money here. He has enough for grenade, well, for smoke, flash, or no, he just spent everything. Never mind.
Well, he did have a little bit left in the bank, so actually I'm a bit confused about why he didn't pick up some grenades.
Things, right?
That could be horrible later on. That could actually be a big mistake. But they are really quick out of the yard here already, trying to see if they could pressure coldzera, who's playing in main. They smoked him off, in fact. He's trying to make his way for the smoke, and look at that. Smith's going to catch him. Brilliant play coming out here.
Yeah, Smith's feeling really confident in his rifles right now. Scream, another headshot for him. They're picking apart the CT defense at this point. Smith is going to get on high now. Getting into heaven, that's going to give him eyes onto A site. And how do SK adjust to this? Well, I mean, if you can just flank Taco out there into the middle of nowhere, Smith's definitely expecting his teammates to be watching his back. A big mistake made by G2.
They have to win this round. It's 3-on-5, or it just was. If they can't close out a round like this, that's a very bad sign going into the rest of the half here. Shox has already infiltrated the back line. He's checked that nobody's in ramp right now. Taco and FNX, where are they? They need to be found. There's 55 seconds, and that's a big kill coming in. First of the game for Shox here, and now FNX is alone. 1-on-3. This should be an unwinnable position.
No, he's got 45 seconds left, though. That's the main thing. And he had a little bit of luck going into the pistol round where he was in the right place at the right time. Now Shoxy going to be drawing attention to himself up here. He's alone and steps out into a hail of bullets, but Body was waiting at squeak door, and that opens up the kill. They're on the board, G2. They've got 1 round on the T side now, but SK Gaming, they should have the economy we go for a buy here.
I mean, this is the big question. They have a really tough decision to make. You can defend Nuke on CT side with very limited equipment, right? But it will be without the AWP. That means limited yard control, and they'll be lacking a lot of grenades here. So I understand they want to go for this buy, but it can also be a terrible risk. If they lose this round, suddenly G2 are just going to be celebrating very early on here. For any newcomers, you don't need that many rounds on the terrorist side here. This is a very, very CT-sided map, so you got to watch out for that as well. But yeah, G2, I like the focus that they're putting into these first 3 rounds.
No, they definitely, I mean, there are some players that are very experienced, at least with the older version of this map. Smiths and Shoxy really stand out as 2 prime players. That's hailing back to the days of Titan Very games, but still, they should be comfortable, they should be feeling it, and right now it's going to be that wall of smokes going down, a variation on the wall of smokes as well, really blocking off main, garage, allowing G2 to get down into secret, but a smoke is already there waiting for him.
Yeah, they got to be careful they don't get flanked, but they actually have left Shox outside to make sure that doesn't happen. That's actually a great idea. That means that all 4 people here can just focus on FNX. He can't make it back around the corner so easily. Down a half health, and he's going to get shot down. RPK picking up the headshot there, and that's a really good start. Shox is still lurking outside, so they got to be careful with their rotations here, SK. 4 versus 5 and 40 seconds left.
It's a tough scenario there for FNX. A moment's indecision ends up costing him Scream, messes up his smoke, but shouldn't be that big of an issue. coldzera has been spotted, already taking damage to the vents, and Smith will eventually find the headshot on him. 2-man advantage now for G2. Smoke is there so that they can get the bomb plant for free. And right now, SK Gaming, they should be thinking about saving, not actually just trying to retake this site.
You're exactly right, unless they can get some very quick kills in here. Taco's actually stuck on the bomb site, so there'll be no saving for him. He's going to tap the bomb once. There's a lot of noise around him, and he does have a kit, but that smoke is gone, and that's going to spell the end of him. It's now Fallen 1 versus 3 with the FAMAS, and a team kill coming in. Smith's undoing what he just did, winning against coldzera. Now it's a 1-on-1. Smith's hiding in the vent here. Fallen going to come through, and he does land another headshot. Technically speaking, 3 kills in the round for Smiths, but only really 2 of them were great. But those were high-impact kills, so should give him some credit anyway here. That ties up the scoreline. And, I mean, the first kill that Smiths got when he got it on coldzera in the previous round out in main, that was a big impact frag as well. So pretty good job on him so far.
Yeah, killing Shoxy is always a high-impact kill. You know, whoever gets the kill in the end, right? That works out. So, well done by Smiths. He's off to a strong start here, and it was mentioned on the desk during the group phase when they played Nuke, G2, Smiths, he was in his element. He was dominating. And so now we're going to see if he can keep up that level here on the T side. A little bit of a peek there in ramp, and FNX with a USP is going to double take Scream. 2 kills here. This is a hard eco from SK Gaming. How are G2 having this much trouble dealing with them?
I mean, it's brought back by the triple Mac 10 kill there for RPK, and that's incredibly fortunate. You cannot let go of a round like this. Again, rounds are so hard to come by on the terrorist side. If you start losing to just pistols, it's not only going to be bad, it's going to destroy your morale. You really need to keep the team tight like that. Now, Fur is down there waiting. He's only got the USP. If they play this together, there's really no way that he can win this. Like, they have to be able to coordinate well enough that they don't just give him 2 one-on-one fights.
He's got the right read. G2 with 50 seconds left, though. They can really run down this clock. See if he's going to make the mistake, forcing Fer to make the first move. But Fer's backed off now, and he's going to lie in wait. He's got that USP as well, so if he doesn't go for the shoulder peek, Smith has got an incendiary. He can try and clear out behind the silo. But if Fer doesn't give away his position here, he could get the drop on them.
Down to 30 seconds. He's actually going to be the proactive one. Goes out for it. I mean, the timing could have definitely worked out then, but G2 keeping it calm, keeping it cool, and now they take the round lead. They're up 3-2 here on the terrorist side. And currently top fragging on SK is actually Taco at 8-4. We need to see more out of Fallen, more out of Fer. Definitely right now. Things are looking much better on G2.
It's a bit more even across the board. RPK and Scream leading the way, but then nobody really falling too far behind on G2. We are still early days here in the half, so a lot of room. But G2, because of that win, still, they ended up dropping 3 players in the last round. They still have the money to go for a full buy. They have all of the nades necessary, whereas SK Gaming, again, are limited. And this is the nightmare sort of scenario when you're CT nuke, when you can't afford to full buy on nades. It's so hard to get the job done. It's going to come down to some flashy play exactly from Fallen or Cold. Somebody out in the yard has to step up.
Fallen has the tool for it, definitely. He can control so much of this yard with the sniper rifle. You see how far back he is if they try and go for that silo play. He's certainly quick enough to be able to get the kills on them. But you're right, the lack of smokes. I mean, they need the smokes to buy time on G2's clock, but they also need the smokes on the CT side to defuse in that B-bomb side. That's a big feature of this map. You really do need that. And look at the flashbang coming in. FNX caught entirely. Fer up on the railing, not going to make it work. He gets dropped, and so does Fallen. What a push into the A main here. This is just brilliant coming out of the French side. Just leaves Taco top fragging, yes, but also in a 1-on-4. Takes a fight with Smith and doesn't win it.
Very well done. But this is just showing that G2 have put some work into it. SK Gaming, they've had some rough times in the past on this map, and they definitely have been putting in work since then, trying to get comfortable. But G2 just seem to come out ahead, and they've got the confidence right now. That play, we're gonna get the replay here. Yeah, we get the replay here. They're just pushing as a unit out of Squeak, and the key part of this is that nobody can hesitate. You just have to fully commit, even if the two first guys that go out the door get sprayed down. Doesn't matter. You have to push. You have to get into that site, and so that's G2 just taking control of the situation and running with it.
Speaking of running and gunning, that's exactly what they're doing here. Body picking up 2 big kills. Scream with a follow-up, and that's the 3rd one in. Fer going down. Smiths to take that last one there. That leaves us at 5-2 here with just a very strong performance. They are definitely controlling the pace of the game. And SK, now they have everything. They have the grenades, they have the rifles, and those Molotovs are really important. Because they didn't have the last round, G2 was able to run out that Squeak door, but as soon as you have the Molotov, you're probably going to preemptively throw it in there so that doesn't happen.
I was wondering if they were going to go for some very early aggression here. Shoxy's going to get the door open for him. So that's looking for an angle out into Garage for Fallen. If Fallen decided to take that AWP out there, challenge in main, Guardian loves to do that, for example, but it's not going to be the case. Instead, Fallen, passive angle, and he hits the shot on Smith's. Fer going to drop body at the same time.
Finally, a good start here for the Brazilian side. They, in turn, now really can't afford to give it away. Cold Sierra has not been having a good time at all here. He gets shot down again. Straight headshot coming in from RPK, I believe, and now it's a 3-on-4. Still very winnable here for SK. They should be able to hold on to it. And they've got a decent setup right now. It's really hard right now for G2 to find an angle that isn't being covered.
Exactly. Well, more importantly is that SK Gaming, they can give up yard at this point. All they need to do is lock down the sites. And that's exactly what they've done. Fallen's fallen all the way back to the end of ramp. He's counting on his teammates just to keep control.
Let's see here. Scream up the ladder, making a little bit of noise there. We're down to 40 seconds as well, and that is getting a little bit close now, especially when you're not anywhere near a bomb site. You obviously need to have a little bit of time left. But G2 did this earlier in the game already. When they're in a tight situation, they slow it down to a crawl, and that's not always what we've been seeing. French teams notoriously tend to be very aggressive once the fight starts. They just sort of keep going, right? This is a slightly different pace, and I'm kind of liking it here. RPK trying to find an angle. He might be able to find Fallen, but instead, it's FNX going down. Fer does also pick up a kill. 2-on-4 or 2-on-3 here. 10 seconds left as he's trying to make the cross in. Shock's going to go for the bomb plant inside of the smoke, but gets denied. Fallen with a great triple there, shutting down the round, denying the bomb plant, and getting another round for SK.
Well played on SK, keeping their cool at the end. They were trying to work together, using the buddy system as well, going as a pair through, clearing out lobby, clearing out main, making sure that G2 had nowhere really to go. Like, it's just, they were down to 15 seconds. That's not enough time, really. I mean, I do agree with you, Anders, that slowing down the pace is a good thing. Yes, okay, you're trying to look for SK Gaming to make the mistake then and try and capitalize off of that. But when you only have 20 seconds left to get onto the bomb site, that's where it starts to get really tricky for you.
Saying there's a limit to how much you can slow down that pace. Exactly. That may be true.
I mean, they aren't Na'Vi, right? Na'Vi were the kings of going for the 10-second plays left in the round, making the push onto the site and getting the bomb plant.
It's very true indeed. A little bit of a smoke out, a flashbang, maybe to allow someone to peek against Fallen out there. They still have the rifles on the G2 side. This is a dangerous angle, but the flash timing is perfect. Fallen doesn't know how to adjust the crosshairs there, not going to get the shot in. And now they get a little bit of yard control. And actually, if you look at the map here, SK are giving up a lot of map control out in the yard here. And that is a really big problem. You can't just do that for free, basically, here. They need to fight a little bit harder.
So Shox is going to be playing that lurk role right now. As soon as his teammates show themselves, he's going to be holding that outside, trying to put some pressure there. Bit of a jump. Taco, a little bit late with the incendiary, but still he's going to have a presence on that lower site. Doors could get open, and he's in the perfect angle here to try and clothesline G2 as they come out onto the site. coldzera will catch Shoxy lurking in the yard as well, so this is a fantastic start now for SK Gaming. They have everything in place.
That's the key kill. They might even be able to read the setup here for G2 just based on that one kill. They might know what's coming. Taco hiding in the corner. They've got the crossfire with the AWP on the other side. Down to 25 seconds. A lot of grenades coming into this B-bomb side. And now G2 have to make up their minds. Body going to get shot down. Bomb will be planted, but Taco already with a kill on RPK. Now it's down to Smith. So 1 versus 4. Just trying to see if he can keep it alive somehow. He's going to get a great double kill in there, but it won't be enough. Still, SK going to win the round. Only losing 2 members here. And that's obviously the key part. They're going to be back to 4-5. Slowly stabilizing the early game here.
I mean, it's a great use of a utility from G2 to get out onto that site. The flash smoke combos, everything worked well there. But SK Gaming aren't making any mistakes. They aren't giving a free kill. They aren't getting over aggressive. They aren't giving any free kills to G2 to make life easier for them. Instead, they're basically just so confident in their ability to hold this site that they're just waiting for G2 to make the move.
And that could work out in their favor long term. I'm still very concerned about the really lax defense that they have out there. I don't mind that they're being a bit careful, but the problem is when G2 go down the secret stairwell like that to get into the V-bomb site, they have to at least be a little bit worried that someone might still have been out in garage. You know, they have to be worried that someone can sneak up behind them. They do have Shox who sort of plays a little bit more relaxed out there, but I still think SK they're giving up too much control outside, and it can cause some gaps in the defense.
That's where, I mean, it's pretty much Nuke, right, that started that whole cliche where it's just like, well, if you're going to give up map control, if you're going to fall back to the sites, then your only choice at that point is to hit all of your shots, like your only chance, because you're not going to have any warning, early warning. You're just going to, the push is going to come onto a site, and you have a couple of seconds to react, and that's it. If you miss the shots, then you're doomed.
And just to add to that as well, if they are going to give up the yard control, then at least have someone take a quick peek into lobby and see if anyone is there, because that will give you the other part of the information. If you see someone there, you have a very good understanding of what's coming up next. So you gotta have some information, either out in the yard or down in lobby. You need to know what's going on the other side, and SK for a couple of rounds haven't really been doing that, but they have been winning the rounds anyway. So we'll see if they're going to do it again here. coldzera, very defensive again, trying to get the shots through, a little bit going into screen, but still all 5 members this time, not even with Shox behind, they're all going to make it down.
We aren't seeing it. I mean, this is just brute force coming in from G2. There's no subtlety here. Put the smoke wall down and then go as 5 towards that B ramp. Taco might be spotting some movement. Yeah, he spotted the movement now. Instant death there for Body, waiting for him. Taco not going to miss the shot. RPK, however, will be there to trade. Effective push coming in from G2 so far, but they've had trouble cracking onto the B site in the past couple of rounds. So will they be able to take advantage of this here?
Well, we're about to find out. That's a great Molotov, and the smoke is on the other side. More Molotovs even raining in. That might have been a bit excessive, but now they need to get the bomb pump before those evaporate. Get in there, get the smoke up, and you can see the hesitation here on the French side. That can't happen. They need to commit, and because they don't, Molotovs are gone. coldzera picks up the kill there on RPK, and now it's 3 versus 4. Cold looking for more shots, but he's going to get tapped out by Shox. Now it's a 3-on-3. The bomb is down as well. SK cannot let go of this round.
Now they have to actually make this retake happen, and Fallen will be able to trade out for the M4. He's got 15 bullets left, 14. You have no reload possible, Fallen. I hope you checked that, because otherwise this could get awkward for you. Well, Scream solves it. Not going to be a problem. FNX will trade with Smith, however, brings it back to a 2-on-2. But they've taken so much damage now, SK Gaming. It's all on Fur. He had the most HP, and Scream will find the headshot on him. So between Shoxy and Scream, now they're both alive, and FNX knows it. He's going to back off, try and hold on to his rifle for the next round here.
And they need it. I'm not even sure if SK aren't going to try and force it. 2 of them can buy. If they save this rifle, which obviously FNX will, then they can have 3 rifles, maybe, and then, you know, some pistols, maybe Max 7 or something. If they don't, then that's almost handing the entire first half here to G2. This was such a good play coming out of them. They isolate Taco in that corner. The only issue that I have is the hesitation going in. Once those grenades are up towards ramp, that's when they should strike immediately and not wait, you know, 5 seconds. But it was still very good. And look at the force coming in.
Exactly. They aren't wasting any time, SK Gaming. I mean, still, if they can get the right angles down, Shotgun, Fur, if he holds close to Squeak, that all depends on the positioning here between the different FSK players. And Fur will be up on that A site. He'll be able to play aggro as well. It looks like FNX and Fur might be actually prepping something. Taco goes for the aggressive peek through the smoke. Gets caught by RPK. No luck there.
I mean, a calculated risk, I would say, coming in from Taco. He only had the pistol. If he could have made a play for his team then, it would have been worth it. And they still have backup down there, maybe trying to lure them into Cold Zero. He's got 20 bullets and a lot of players coming his way. But what a headshot. Mid-air, taking out Body and bringing it back into a 4-on-4. That is the kind of Cold Zero we need to see all the time here, because G2 are definitely fired up.
Yeah, better yet, he actually falls back, plays from behind the boxes, resets, and well, now that makes it a little tricky here for G2. They do have ramp control. That's something to work off of, but they work their way back over here to lobby, making sure that nobody's pushed in behind them. Looks like they want to try and change it up. They've gone B the past couple of times. It's time to hit that A site, and FNX is waiting right in front. Smith is there to open things up.
It's a great kill, nice entry from Smiths, and that's going to give them the bomb plant here, and they have grenades. They have 2 more Molotovs. They can buy almost an infinite amount of time here. It's going to be very hard for SK to take Heaven, where they were just aiming. You see Fallen is there trying to get up, but it's very difficult, and he has to sort of just fall back a little bit. They're going to give up the round already. They just can't do anything, and I mean, they would have never made it up the ladder anyway, just because of all those grenades. That's going to be 7 rounds. Semler, what are we witnessing here? We're
witnessing a shaky SK Gaming, it seems. I mean, G2, they've hit their stride. There was a little bit of a bump in the road there the past 2 rounds where SK Gaming, things started to look like they were gelling for them, like they were coming together. But I felt like that was almost just because G2 were hesitating so much that it allowed SK Gaming to land the shots to take control of those 2 rounds. Now it's just like G2, they get ramp control, they clear that out, they play off of Taco, right? Taco took a risk, that's fine, right? If he catches the guy looking the wrong way, he starts things off with a good kill, maybe even saves a rifle, backs off. But then G2, the way that they play off of that is so solid. FNX, that's just bad luck as well. He's looking into Hut when the door opens, he just gets run over.
It's very intelligent from the T side, because Taco already went down and they saw Cold falling back. They know that's 2 out of the 5 that are sort of not going to be in the A-bomb side, right? Normally you would only have 1 person in ramp, so it's very easy math for G2 to think, okay, if they even have 1 person in yard, that means we're going to go into that bomb side in a 4-on-2 essentially at the very worst. So they're going to be fine with that. Fallen trying to see if he can maybe snag a kill out here early on, but oh, what a shot! Smiths sniping him with the AK, and now inside of the smoke waiting. Cold Zero has to try and see if he can bring this back. He's only going to get the 1 kill. Shox to follow it up. That is a great start once again.
What excellent work, but they are rotated in. FNX going to trade 1 for 1, but so long as G2 keep the man advantage, this favors them. Fur has rotated down to the side, however, with that Spike 7. He is in position, but Shoxy's working his way back around to the other side of the site. Fur might get exposed here in a moment if Shox decides to open that door. He has opened the door, and so you can see Fur's worried about it, but he's going to catch RPK with the gun in his hand. Awkward. Scream will eventually trade.
Yeah, if not for that flashbang, I think Fur would have easily picked up a double kill there against Scream 2. Now Taco, bomb is there, and he just spots it. That's very important. Otherwise, he would have probably kept going and definitely would have died. Now he can play for time. 40 seconds left, and timing really is everything in this moment. Shox going to be walking up. Taco right up there. He turns around, and a great headshot coming through. Now 1-on-1. And this could be for the whole first half. G2 already with such a great scoreline. Taco, the weight of the world is on his shoulders here. Scream trying to make it in through the vent. 20 seconds left now. He has to either get the kill or pick up that bomb and plant it. And kill probably is a little bit more better right now, just because getting the bomb plant in when Taco is right next is going to be tricky. 10 seconds left, and Scream making his way around. There's the bomb picked up. Taco in the corner, goes to the crate. Oh, he can't hit it. Scream gonna get the headshot. And that's a huge round once again.
That's monstrous. Taco played that so well.
Perfectly, you would say. He got into the best possible position. I think that's the... And it's understandable.
Well, that's heartbreaking as well. G2 have won both 1v1 situations so far in this half. We're looking at a totally different scoreline. If SK Gaming win both of the 1v1s, G2 up to 8 rounds now on T-side nuke, however, and SK Gaming have to go for pistols, so it's only going to get worse. We could be seeing G2 just completely stomp SK Gaming into the ground here at the beginning of this best of 3. This is G2's map as well. So clearly they're feeling confident, and they've got a reason to right now. Everything is going their way.
Starting the 13th round, and again, there's just been way too many eco rounds here for SK, or half-buy rounds. They just haven't had the equipment to put up a good fight, and that's because G2 have kept that pressure up so much. Now, just waiting and seeing. Body leading the charge with the Mac 10, always a good idea.
Yeah, he's going to get the drop on him. Literally, FNX is gone, and so, well, SK, they really just need to kind of put this out of their heads, because clearly if they allow this map to get through, they've been putting some work through on it as well. So T-side is still waiting for him in the second half, and if they start off strong with a pistol, things could get fun. RPK is going to drop to Cold Zero with that Deagle, and Taco doing work. He takes down Smith. G2, we saw this earlier in the half. They seem to struggle against these eco rounds. Last time this happened, it was cut way too close.
Oh, what? Cold Zero dropping shots without him even touching the ground. That is insane, but I'm not sure it's enough. I mean, that puts a smile on your face, but SK need way more than that here. They are in a 2-on-3, and we only have 15 seconds left, and they can win this round. Maybe, just maybe, they can spark some kind of a comeback. Fallen inside of the site. He's going to spot Scream coming in. Easy headshot there. Now Body left alone, and he's going to go down. Fur knocks him out with the Max 7. And SK, is that the round, Semler? Is that the round that's going to bring them back?
Well, they finally got something to go their way. So yes, I mean, they came close to winning at Eco earlier in the half. Now they actually managed to pull it off, and that is such a sick shot from Cold on Shoxy. Brutal, and I think this is the second tactical timeout coming in here from G2. They're allowed to have 4 30-second timeouts per map, each team. And yes, it will be the tactical here, the second one of the half for G2. So last time they took the tactical, it ended up working out for them. They started to get control again in the half, so it seems like they want to end strong. There's 2 rounds left in this half, 8-5. Perfectly capable of making this a 10-5 scoreline, G2.
That's a very real possibility right now. I mean, they must be feeling great at the moment, but you also have to keep that energy a little bit under control, right? You are playing one of the absolute best teams in the world. If you let it bubble over, if you get caught up in that feeling that we've done it, it can slip away really quickly. So I would I would keep the focus up right now. Scream doing a great job top fragging and on his team, and on the other team, Taco with 13 kills, and then coldzera close behind as well. They need more. Where is Fallen with the AWP right there to take out Smiths, and that's the kind of start they need.
I like it. SK Gaming changing it up. They haven't gone for an aggro push like that before. So that completely catches G2 off guard, it looks like. Smoke is going to go down for Scream, but he's just going to use it to get out. And somehow it looks like there was a little bit of a fight there. Fer took a lot of damage. Maybe just some wallbanging through the smoke.
Could have won build. Could have been that kind of trade, definitely. Body going to be sneaking into the hut, and some blind spray coming through from the other side. They do have a good setup here. Fer in position with the AK. This should be at least one kill, but he actually misses a lot. FNX going to be there to help him out now. Fer going to try and recommit, but they're already on the site. And Body picking up 2 big headshots, leaving Taco, Fallen, and Cold here. 3 on 3, and all the timing. Body picks up a 3rd headshot, and now 2 on 3. The bomb will be going down. This is horrible for SK.
That's a maddening situation. SK Gaming, they can't seem to catch a break. Getting caught with a nade in your hand. coldzera, you need him to stay alive. It's going to be Fallen and Taco now, and Fallen has the high ground at least, but with the AWP and his teammate dying alone, it's not going to work. Although he does get a great shot on RPK. Body with the quad kill working on that ace, and Body's still alive. There's the flash to buy a little bit more time. Doesn't work though, and Shoxy gets lucky. Eventually gets the shot to win the round for G2, bringing them up to 9 rounds. But maybe some miscommunication there on the timing between Fallen and Taco. Taco really stepped out into the open in main and got punished.
What do you do against a round like that? You see the confusion for whoever was playing up at the hot. I think it was Fer, right? Just the confusion. He's not realized that they already got 2 people inside, and one of them was Body, and he picks up a quad kill. That's just too much to handle. Now we're going to go into the 15th round, last of the half here, and G2 internally, they must be celebrating at this point. They know that this is a huge achievement already. Big trade there, Smiths. Besting Fallen again. We've seen Smiths open up on him so many times, which again is a bit unusual, the subject of so much criticism, and maybe he's turned it around. It certainly feels like it here. 3 versus 3 at the moment, and they only have pistols on SK side.
Yeah, Fallen, usually a linchpin, one of the players leading SK Gaming. He's bottom fragging right now, so until he can get his head in the game here, I think that we're going to continue seeing SK Gaming struggle. Bomb will eventually get planted, and RPK planting it on top of the silo. A little bit of a spot there. Smiths will survive, but just barely. And now RPK's got the angle on the vents.
Fer going to be falling back fairly quickly to try and get around to the other side here. RPK could hear them running a lot, and coldzera going to get taken out now. It's down to Taco and Fer. 2 on 2 as they get that kill, but they need a lot more, and they need to get in here and plant and defuse the bomb. They don't have any kits right now, so time is simply running out second for second here. Taco will be going down, and now for... He's just checking everywhere, but there is no time left. This will be 10-5, favoring G2 in the first half. Absolutely unbelievable performance here. Bomb is going to go up. Doesn't matter what Fer does any longer. RPK to take him out for the triple, and that's the end of the half. What an incredible scoreline here for the Frenchman.
Yeah, they just took control. They never really allowed SK to get into the game. The beginning of this half started off with SK winning the pistol, sure, but then it all went G2's way. We're going to take a very short break now before we go into the second half here to see if SK Gaming can turn it around on their T side.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The second half coming up here between G2 and SK Gaming. And to the surprise of quite a few people, it is G2 leading the charge here, playing on the less favorite side. Now they're going to be playing on the CT side of Nuke. They do this, Semler. Suddenly they have a real chance of making it further in the tournament. I mean, everybody had SK picked to win this game.
Yeah, no, pretty clear cut, right? I mean, SK Gaming, one of the favorites to come into this tournament and beat up on everybody. I think that there was a bit of a shock that Astralis might be waiting, you know, in the wings here, that the Danes, no shock, I know for you, they're going to win the major. But like, the fact that, you know, it's not like the powerhouses of SK, you know, of Navi that are just like outright dominating everything. Instead, SK Gaming have struggled in the group phase. They've shown some weakness. G2 as well. These are tournament-winning teams that are going to have to go neck and neck here in the quarterfinals for a chance at the semis. Not exactly what you'd expect. Kind of expect either one of these teams to just be waiting in the semis, waiting to play tomorrow.
Here's Fallen shooting out the ceiling windows, as you were pointing out in the first half, to get those grenades in. They have 2 smoke grenades, or just to pretend that that's what they're doing. G2 can hear the glass falling, obviously, so they're going to be aware that that might be coming up as well. We'll see. SK, they need this round desperately. It's almost not even a contest if they don't win this round.
Keep in mind that SK Gaming won the first half pistol, and they've only got 5 rounds. They won the first half pistol and got 5 rounds. That's not good. So SK, there's a lot of pressure on them right now to pick up this pistol round. They have so little room for error.
It's actually shocking when you put it like that, isn't it? They should have had way more. G2, keep focused, keep it going, and we'll see if they can here. They are setting up outside a lobby. Fur is having a minor seizure, but I'm sure that will be sorted out any second now. Grenades are going to be raining in from the ceiling as well. They're trying to make their way through. Shots in the corner. Can they get rid of him? He's trying. RPK coming in to help out, but he's only going to get the 1 kill. FNX will take him out, and now Body all on him inside the A-bomb site. He's getting a little help from Scream, and now the bomb not being planted yet. Body making his way into the smoke. It's a 2-on-3 favoring G2, and Fallen has to catch up with FNX. Otherwise, this is not going to work.
What is going on here? This is such a chaotic round. Fallen now going to be drawing attention to himself. Scream looking for the fight. He's going to get the drive-by. Drops Fallen, and now it's FNX, 32 HP, but the bomb planted. Very similar to what we saw, actually, here in the first half pistol, where that was a chaotic, just upper rush, just who was going to come out ahead. It all came down to who hit their shots. Still, G2 succeeded in picking up the bomb plant. So we'll see if SK Gaming can do the same here in the second half. Now that they're on the T side, they got that bomb plant, so that means they'll be able to buy a round earlier.
Just a minor detail about Shox' early position. The reason why it's so good in a pistol round is there's almost no chance that the opposing terrorist team will have Molotovs to clear it out. So they have to run deep into the bomb site to pick him off, and that's why RPK had such a good angle. Now, he didn't make the best of it, but that's the reason why. You'll see it used less later on when SK have Molotovs. It's very hard to clear someone from that corner. Now, 11-5, and this is just the worst of all worlds here for SK.
Yeah, 5 rounds necessary here for G2 to pick up this win. Take it to map 2 on Train. Train is SK Gaming's map as well, so keep that in mind. It's pretty much their stomping ground. They are incredibly good on that map. So this is a quarterfinal that could easily go 3 maps. Smith's with the scout out in the yard, though, hunting for a target. And he's just looking top silo. Cold is up there right now, though, and he gets spotted. Boom, headshot.
That was practically deer hunting, wasn't it? Just very relaxed. You could hear the birds chirping, and then suddenly Cold Zero is no more. It's 12-5 here. So the Frenchmen are going to be marching on, and just, I mean, very impressive. I have to keep saying it a couple of times because it's definitely a really cool display that we're seeing here from G2. RPK in the top with 16 kills. Taco's been performing well on SK all game long, but he just needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, this is where they kind of have to start waking up SK. This is the round to do it. 3 rifles, 2 pistols, and the 2 pistols and a Galil as well, just to get more nades to work with. So we'll see. SK Gaming, they actually have quite the arsenal here going into the 18th round. 12-5 for G2.
All right, now they've bought a little bit early here. They've got the Galil, they've got the 2 AKs. A little bit sad that they are shooting out the windows with those rifles, just because that will alert G2 to the fact that it's coming, but maybe they just to strike some fear in their hearts, telling them early on.
If only there was a way to know that Taco had it as well, because Taco, I mean, Shox' ears must still be ringing from that clutch situation where Taco took his head off instantly.
They're setting up, they have the Molotovs as well, and you see the position that I think Cold Zero is in right now, up on that up on that vent, he can throw a Molotov that lands right on the hut. And if anyone's holding there, which I don't think they are right now, but if they were, definitely be. Actually, Body is. So, yeah, he could get Molotov out of this position, and that's a great way to get started. It's going to be a smoke first, but yeah, there's the Molotov setup. Perfect.
Very nice. You see it? Drops right on top of Body. Instantly gets canceled. The timing is wrecked completely. Body still goes down. And FNX, don't shoot your teammates.
Oh, RPK with a good double kill. Smith picking up one, and now it's all on Fallen. 1 versus 2. They started off so well, and he gets the headshot, but it's not enough with that Galil. That's going to make it 13-5. I'm actually shocked that Body managed to put out that Molotov so quick. It's a bit of a shame that I think the adrenaline was too much, you know. He still ran off the rooftop, but that's, yeah, that's a very good defense.
I almost want to replay that because it looked to me almost as if that was an SK Gaming smoke that got thrown in there and canceled the Molotov instantly.
No, I think he underhand threw it. Well, you can check that later, but I think he just, maybe he even had it primed already. I'm not even sure because that was incredibly fast. 13-5. They have a lot of deagles and not that much hope.
No, especially if Smith is going to be taking FNX out like that immediately, standing his ground, down to 1 HP. Do they have any idea? Yeah, Fallen going to miss the shot. And so long as Smith is alive out here, he's a thorn in SK Gaming side. Fallen will find the headshot on RPK, and that was a peek from hell. So it's going to open it up here for Fur to walk right into Shoxy. Easy kill there for Shoxy. Fallen still alive out in Garage, but really they're just getting picked off one at a time. This is a perfect situation here for G2. They've completely handled this. And it doesn't feel like SK Gaming can get anything rolling at all here in this round. Cold even invested in Kevlar this round, and he's not finding anything.
No, you're definitely right. And in light of that, just need to get some clarification. Did you say he's a Thorn or a Thorin in their side? Because I think a Thorin is definitely worse.
Definitely worse.
On the scale, right? Cold Sierra, I'm not sure why you're keeping us waiting at this point in time. 1 versus 4 with the Deagle. He does have the bomb, but this is not going to happen. Best he can do is get a good headshot in for display purposes, but that's pretty much it. Smith will take him out for the triple, and that puts Smith at 14. So, and actually, he's been deducted 1 for the early team kill, so
truth.
It's even better than it seems.
Killed Shoxy earlier. But it's so consistent across the board for G2. This is, I mean, this if you're a G2 fan, is uplifting to see, right? Everybody seems to be hitting their shots right now, whereas SK are certainly struggling. But this is the big round. This is the make or break moment now for SK Gaming on the first round of this map. Or rather, the first map of this best of 3.
They got to make this work. And, I mean, I don't think anyone could believe it at this point. They would need to win 11 rounds flawlessly, no mistakes at all. And that's just almost impossible to do, especially playing on Nuke. But they are setting up a couple of grenades raining in. They're still in the radio room. So much of this is just sort of pretending and signaling to G2 that, hey, maybe we might be coming in. You'd better pull everybody back from ramp and try and see if you can make it work. You can see more grenades flashing in. Scream on the other side. Counter flash coming out. That's actually going to put a halt to it. That's great. Now all those grenades in A are going to evaporate, and Scream is just here waiting. Very smart play.
Yeah, he does manage to make it back around the corner, though. And Cole is going to be free aiming exactly. He's aiming exactly towards that angle because it's right in front of Hell. Not the best positioning there by Scream. He gets punished. Smith barely makes it out of the corner, around the corner in time, but they are going to be able to go down to the lower site now. SK Gaming take control and get that bomb plant here because they have everybody in position to hold all of the angles. Shoxy is going to be able to get up, try to take, well, find the headshot on first somehow. That shouldn't happen. There we go. FNX snuffs him.
A bit of wild spray coming out, but it works out in the end. Now, 3 versus 4. Bomb is about to go down here. RPK in Toxic looking for the kill, but he's not going to make it work. Body will be taking a kill on Cold Sierra, but it's looking like G2 somehow are still coming back in this round. Now it's a 2-on-2. The bomb planted in a very good position for SK, though.
Both have kits. And yeah, FNX is going to be the linchpin here. As long as he maintains control of this high ground here with the eye on the bomb. Fallen going to go for the greedy peek, though. Body going to get caught. Now it's all down to Smith. Smith versus FNX, and Smith has given away his position. He's on the side. He gets spotted. Nothing he could do. FNX was in the perfect spot to deal with them in the end. 14-6. SK Gaming, a key round picked up now. But a lot of these rounds, Anders, are just looking so chaotic. Just very, very shaky from both teams, in fact. You can still tell that they're still getting adjusted to this map, which is surprising considering everybody seems to be picking this map. We're not really seeing like the top tier kind of CS here. We're seeing very scrappy stuff where it's headshots galore.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly turned into a very chaotic fight, and that can happen a lot when you lose the ramp control, because suddenly you're not quite sure where the terrorist team is, you know, especially if you don't have Heaven or Hell over by the A-bomb side. You need to sort of have some control there. They have an auto sniper picked up on Smith, so he's certainly ready to bring the pain if they try and go out in the yard here. We're 14-6. SK, they win a round. It's way too early to celebrate. They need many more.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see him out in yard with it. So we used to see a lot of Scar 20 play over on ramp room as well, because when SK Gaming would come charging through, they're running through a bottleneck. All you have to do is tap mouse 1 and you're just slaying. And there's the flash through. He gets spotted, fallen. At least there's the information gained, and Smith has to try and back off so that he doesn't get rushed down here, looking for an angle. Not going to be able to spot out Fallen. Instead, trying to cover the high ground, make sure that his teammate playing Heaven is not going to get flanked.
That was a bit scary. There was a huge gap in the smoke there that if Smith had been in a different position, they would have been railed on from that auto sniper. Now, timing almost perfect for RPK. They had a grenade in hand there. They're going to Molotov him back in, and they're not there to catch him when he comes out, so he's going to retake this position here. 40 seconds left. SK now or never, and Smith showing up with the auto sniper, getting one. RPK with the kill. They're trying to make their way through the smoke to get the plant in, but it's not happening. Fallen alone in the corner. He's going to go down, and that will be 15-6. G2 Esports here, now at map point.
And wild stuff as well, because they completely give up the yard. That just plays into G2's hands. They had that two-layer, basically. Smith dropping back to CT to watch Heaven and Hell to make sure they can't get flanked through there if they want to go SK Gaming, and then RPK holding in defense. That was their answer, G2, just falling back and basically giving full yard control over to SK Gaming. So real scary. Talked about that in the first half, right? It's a very difficult position to find yourself in, because if you miss the shots, if RPK doesn't stay alive, for example, the situation can spin out of control so quickly. So SK, they aren't quite able to make it that time. 3 Tech 9s, 2 Deagles, a handful of nades, and it's a forced buy for the Brazilian team here to try and keep G2 from picking up this first map.
And you have to think this round could go one or two ways. Either they try and use the Deagles outside to snipe somebody, or they get close enough to a bomb site and they try and use the Tech 9s to run somebody down. It's got to be one or the other here. Fallen in the corner. Oh, can't find shots. He turns around just in time for that one, so not the best start here.
And now Shox has a free smoke to work with as well. RPK, he's got the angle behind the fence, perfectly done. And then, obviously, Smith's on high, going to find his own kill cold. Usually the last man in action looking for the lurker. Well, this time it's all on him, and it's not going to happen. Scream will eventually hunt him down. 16-6, the final score. SK Gaming picking up only a single round in that second half. And once again, just disappointing. Not really seeing where that nuke pick comes from. For SK, right? Just not really seeing a level on there that's going to be able to compete with the best. But then again, I guess that's like that wash, right? The way that the ban went, Nuke was allowed to go to G2, G2 crush on it, but now SK get to go to Train, and that should be SK's stomping ground.
You would have to think, you certainly have to hope so. They do look a little bit deflated walking out, but they're going to have to pick themselves up again for sure. That was a very impressive performance. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, basically, they won the pistol round, and then they still only got 5 overall on the CT side. Nowhere near acceptable, and I want to have a complete breakdown of this. So please, Alex, take us through what just happened.
It would be my great pleasure. Looks like Virtus Pro are even in the crowd and perhaps even on stage here for IEM Oakland, but it is great to see G2 do what they had to. Of course, YNK and Daze did set the scene oh so beautifully for this best of 3. Anderson Semler guided you through it, but now we have to understand it. You said the veto was perfect for G2 to pick up a win here. It would admittedly be a surprise win. I don't think anyone would take that away from them. But boys, T-side nuke, G2 showing form. Yanko, this is surely a huge leap towards winning a best-of-3 versus the defending world champions.
Of course, seeing as how Dust 2 is in the pool, it's probably the most comfortable map for G2 there is. And I think they did a great job, obviously, on the T side, right? And G2 is a team that maybe you won't see many flashy executes from them or something super elaborate, but they do a very good job of switching things up, right? Realizing that their opponents have a weak buy, then throwing in a fast rush through Squeaky, knowing that they won't have the Molotovs and the utility to stop them.
And Sam, if we do reflect upon G2's, less execute heavy T side, where were these rounds coming from? Where were these victories being made?
Well, it started with the third round. Smith and Scream went outside. They threw a smoke mini. Smith went by it quick, caught someone in the smoke. Then they double peeked Heaven, got that kill. Third round done. Then what really set them up was that in the following round, they did the triple outside smoke, went down lower. SK was on a pretty poor buy. We were able to just outgun them. And that really set up a lot of good strings of rounds. I think they went up 5-2 early. But I'm very surprised by SK because G2 played extremely similar to them from what we saw from SK in group play. extremely similar. The triple outside smokes, the 4 walking close and down there, and they had no idea how to stop it. Yet they played against FaZe, who stopped it perfectly. And even G2 right there, we saw later in the half, stopped it great. This is the round we're talking about. Smith comes out, he gets that kill there, and then look, they double peek. Scream is with Smith here. They're able to just isolate Fallen. Even if Fallen would have taken a shot on Scream and fell back, Smith was right next to the windows, he would have picked him off as well. This is what started it all off. This was so crucial because they had almost no nades.
And is this a typical kind of T-side approach, is just wrapping around from outside, Yanko? This is like one of 3 kind of approaches to T-side nuke?
Definitely so, especially when you have like a weak buy like G2 had here. Sure. As Sam just said, they had, I think Shox and Scream both had no nades in the round. So you want to find those aim duels outside, even more so when you have a player like Scream. And I think this is also where you see some holes in SK's game on Nuke, because you see it time and time again. Fallen is mostly playing towards the heaven area, whether he's up or down, but he gets smoked off, right? He can't do anything. Then you have Cold by himself in secret. Then after that, you have FNX again by himself. You want to establish crossfires. You want to have, 2 players holding secret together so they can play off of each other. This way, you just get a 1-for-1 trade. That's not good enough on the CT side.
Yeah, SK, they respect other parts of the map too much on Nuke, and they don't over-rotate, which is a complete contrast to how we see them play almost every CT-sided map. On Dust 2 and things like that, they'll take very calculated risks. Sometimes they'll send 4 people towards A if they see any type of fast, long aggression. So it was very different from how they played, and their rotates were very, very slow. Yeah. And we saw G2 later on in the half. As soon as SK did the same strat that G2 was doing, what happened? They smoked off right side ramp when they went lower to plant. They mollied the left. Scream runs through the Molotov to fight with RPK. As RPK goes through the vents, they all collapse on it, and they all go there. And that's very similar to what we saw with FaZe. So Nuke is a map where you really want to rotate very, very quickly, over-rotate, have one person upper that you trust fully. And we did not see that at all from SK.
So I just want you to elaborate for the guys at home, and perhaps even myself. But using the word over-rotate, to a lot of people at home, that sounds like a bad thing. Over-rotate, you're rotating too much. You're using that in a positive sense here, Sam. I mean, Yanko, perhaps you could explain upon it as well. Over-rotating can be a good thing?
Yeah, it can. It just means that on the first call you see, you see the players smoking off, they're probably going towards secret. That's when you send players there. Maybe even if you don't have vision because of the smoke, but you can assume that they want to go lower, and you send, like RPK in that last round, just ran through the Molotov invent. Scream was running as well, because that's the most plausible play. That's what's the most likely thing to happen. And because of that, SK takes just a bit too much time, even though they cover their bases with Molotovs and smokes, but it becomes a bit too telegraphed at that point. G2 is able to rotate, and then they just pull off a good hold.
And a good win as well. Final thought from you, Sam, before we do take a break and start talking train.
Well, Yanko talked about, when you see the people, you over-rotate. The problem with SK is they didn't get any information on outside. They didn't know that they were walking 4 or 5 towards secret. Because on Nuke, it's very easy to just have 1 to 2 players wait for the lurk. It's a very easy kill as long as you wait for it. But you could have 3 other people rotate and take those battles and really over-rotate in that sense. But they didn't have the information that allowed them to do that.
A battle for information, and I can give you some information. G2 1-0 up. They could very well take SK down upon their home map train. However, our analysts will be definitely not hesitating to tell you how difficult that will be after our break. When we do return, it will be Train, the second map of our playoff day here in the Oracle Arena in Oakland. Do not go anywhere. The first quarterfinal of our time here in the Oracle Arena. Live from Oakland, it is going to be SK versus G2. And French side G2 have impressed. Nuke was the first map, and they managed to dispatch of world-class and defending world champions SK in convincing fashion. Everything changes now. It's going to be SK on Train, which has been an absolutely ridiculously good map for this Brazilian side. We took a quick look at the stats, and in the entirety of this team's existence, in an offline environment, they've lost it twice. They've played it 26 times. This is just overwhelming odds against G2, Janko.
Absolutely, but interestingly enough, the last time SK did lose online on Train was to G2 at Pro League Season 3 finals over in the UK. So definitely there's a chance for G2. It's just that SK lately has been so dominant on Train, and it mostly comes down to their CT side. They've had insane half, 15-0 against G2, 14-1 against VP, probably the second best team on Train in the world.
That's what's so scary, right? Is the second best team on Train in the world got 60-0'd. You know, like, that's just terrifying stuff. Now, Sam, I know you often find yourselves watching demos and understanding what's going oh so right for SK. I'd love to know if you could shed some light on what makes this the best map for SK.
Well, we're going to see two different stylistic approaches from G2 to SK. G2, we're going to see a very dynamic CT side setup. They're going to be in your face, and then they're going to back it up with passive play maybe the next round when you're expecting them to play aggressive. They're not afraid to push Ivy and take risks like that, and just try to take map control and play E-box and things like that. G2, a lot of the time, plays very, very passive. Sometimes Smith is opting old bomb. The only one who even tries to stop you from even planting on outside oftentimes is Scream. If you try to do a smoke take or anything like that, he will generally be the only person fighting. He might jump on top of the bomb train if you do the triple smokes. Sometimes he'll be around sandwich area. Sometimes Smiths will opt into team in and Scream will try to go in. But generally speaking, they play very, very passive. So they almost concede that plant. They let you take the site and are not afraid to play retake, maybe from CT Heaven even. But, SK, completely different. They'll be in your face half the time, and then half the time they'll be passive. So it's very hard to game plan against that.
So hot and cold, an unpredictable style of play. Yes. I didn't make a Katy Perry reference. I know you thought I would. And so, Janko, I want to understand the win conditions for this being a 2-0. Is it simply just not on the cards? Do we expect a third map right from the get-go?
I think it's definitely possible. The recent results from SK on Train have been a bit inflated by those CT sides, and that comes down from winning pistol round, winning the first gun round, then they just get rolling, they get the double op setup. Fallen can be very aggressive. He is even aggressive on Nuke on CT, and that's something that we didn't see as much, simply because they didn't have that good start. Their economy was very low, so he didn't have as much room to take those risks. Right. So for G2, the win condition, in my opinion, is having a good start on the T side, because that can mess SK's otherwise very, very strong CT side and probably put more pressure towards the B-bomb side, trying to pressure Taco there, because most of the time he is by himself for the better part of the round.
And just finally from you, Sam, the players are already ready, so I just want closing thoughts and maybe wrap a prediction if you're feeling like it.
Okay, very quickly, one thing is, though, they completely took Fallen out of the game on his CT side Nuke. The one time he went aggressive, he got taken out instantly on that catwalk. So if they could do that again, they'll be successful. Having said that, watch for SK to have very burst-like strategies on T side, jumping down lower, setting up their teammates with an op. Very difficult to stop, and very small margin of error for G2 to win the round in that case. I think SK takes this one, and it goes into a third map.
I certainly hope so. Janko, I see you nodding. I'll assume the same. All right, the scene is beautifully set by my analysts here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, and now we do prepare for battle. Our second map is Train. SK, will they concede their third ever offline loss on this map, or will G2 be forced to do battle on Dust 2? We'll find out after a break with your casters.
Well, there we go. Not much of a break, really, Alex. You're leading the audience on, but we don't mind that because we have one hell of a spectacle coming up. I mean, they framed it perfectly. SK, they are a monstrous team on this map. Yep. On the CT side, they don't seem to even lose rounds. This is going to be very tough, I think, for G2.
That's what we always seem to see with SK on this map. That's why now you can say, right, they got their asses handed to them on Nuke. Okay, I wasn't going to be around the coaster. It didn't go well on Nuke, but now you're going into their territory where they're famous. They're notorious for just locking down the CT side and making it impossible to do anything against them. They have the double op possibility between Cold and Fallen. Taco is so on point on this map as well. In particular right now, he just seems so in shape. So I think a lot of eyes need to be on Taco, in particular on this map. for SK, but they are starting on the T side. So, you know, enough talk about the CT side for SK Gaming. What are we going to see on the T side here for them?
Yeah, and I mean, this is where they have to build the buffer so that they can actually get their CT side going. You know, they got to pick up at least 5 or 6 rounds just to feel a little bit comfortable. They are going to be running at least 4 men down towards Ivy, and look at that, Smiths and RPK on the other side. They're going to challenge them. This is going to be a train wreck. Smiths looking for the early kill. He's going to be going down. RPK trying to follow them. It's not enough. Taco and Fur will run them down, and now Shox alone. He's sandwiched in. They're all coming for him. He has to hit the headshots, and it's not happening. He's only going to get the 1 kill. That wasn't enough.
It is going to make it tough here, but Scream is still alive. Body as well. Body did show us something on Nuke. He was capable of hitting those headshots, but Scream, that's what he's famous for. He's built his brand on the 1-taps, and he's going to miss that time. But he is following it up, and there we go. Drops the bomb carrier. FNX is out of it. It's only a 2-on-2 now, and Body's got eyes. They have a crossfire on the bomb.
Oh, Scream walking in from behind, but what a headshot. Taco stealing the USP and picking up the kill. Scream gonna get 1. He's looking for it. He knows Taco's back there. How can he get out from behind that electric box? Scream, he's got him pinned in right now. It's gonna be just falling back a little bit. He's trying to see if he can make it harder for Taco to guess where he is. This is a double kill for either player and a huge 1-on-1.
Yeah, this is the T-side pistol. And they're just slowly playing a Scream. He looked away for a moment, and now he doesn't know if Taco went up Pop Dog towards the B site. Taco is going to be playing on the A site now, and this is going to change everything. Scream going to completely change up his angle. He's coming in from the back line now, and he might just catch Taco out completely here. Taco has no idea Scream has worked his way completely behind him.
Wow, great positional play. Taco running in, and look at that. He's just waiting for him. He heard the footsteps. For a good while there, both players had lost track of each other, and then suddenly Scream makes it work. That is not what SK were expecting. They needed to win this pistol round, get everything going, get back in the game.
Taco is now, what, 0-2 versus Scream and clutches as well in the 1v1s. It was the same situation on Nuke, where Scream did everything he could. Taco played it perfectly, and Scream just won the straight aim battle. Here, on this time around, it's Scream completely outplaying Taco. So just a tough scenario now for SK Gaming, but as I say that, they're just going to completely commit. AK picked up nades as well, and it's a force buy after that bomb plant for SK Gaming.
So they want control back quick. They don't want G2 to build off of the success of the first map. They want to be right back in here early on and make sure that they don't get any sort of momentum rolling here. And I mean, just to add to it, because you brought it up that he did build his brand Scream on this whole one-tapping thing, but back when that was happening, when he was the ultimate king of it, which he's kind of starting to become again, really, he didn't have what we just saw. He didn't have the positional play. He didn't have the smart play that we just saw, and that's obviously a dangerous combo.
Exactly, that's what everybody's been waiting for, French scene and the world, you know, to see when Scream would mature as a player, stop just looking for duels, and start, well, changing up the fights. It's going to be that one-on-one scenario, quick trade there, but Shox isn't going to care too much. He's only sacrificing the MP9. It's more important to get up there and try and mess with SK Gaming around that minute mark. G2 right now are trying to play for info. They need to find out, are SK going A, are they going B? To give themselves enough time to rotate around. Scream with that M4A1 is rotated to B. He's playing connector, and there's the first kill. That drops the bomb! Nobody there to back hold up either. What is this?
That's a big no-no. Now you see Smiths holding inside here with the MP7. Smoke going to go up as well. Fur instantly out of the round there. Scream picking up a kill. Now they're out of time as well, down to 29 seconds. But oh, what? They're going to get the kills anyway. Scream and Buddy with a couple, and now they know where Smiths is. He's got 20 seconds, but this MP7 is not a good weapon at this range here. They're going to have the AK, the UMP. They're going to jump him, and that's it. SK will bring it back. A huge risk and a massive reward here for the Brazilian side.
I think Smiths has a legitimate reason to be pissed at his teammates at this point. Like, he literally won them that round.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets the kill on Cold, who goes into Pop Dog alone with the bomb. He's sitting on the bomb at that point. All his teammates have to do is just sit and wait. It's up to SK to make the plays, to try and take the fight to him, to create space. And somehow G2 were just running all over the place, running right into SK Gaming. They gave them that round. And okay, I mean, do you really want to be doing that versus SK Gaming on their best map? No. G2, they had a chance to get the lockdown going, and now SK Gaming, they're the ones in control.
Very much so. A couple of deagles, a single scout on Smiths, and he's been quite mobile at the moment. Every time he takes a shot, he tries to move a little bit out of the way just to make sure they can't exactly guess where he is. It's going to be a bit of a fight, but just too many people on the other side. Good kill for FNX early on.
Yeah, not expecting the two players to be there, clearly. And now following with that smoke down, he might get caught by RPK, who is holding close. Bit of a question mark, but SK Gaming, this is where they should be excelling. This is where they've gone for the default spread. They've got the man in brown halls as well. Although, as I say, that Taco gets caught off guard. His teammate coldzera will be there to get the trade kill, however. So G2, not a whole lot that they can do to play off of that. But SK Gaming have full control of the map across the board now. They get to really just pick and choose where they want to go.
Yeah, and this is, I don't think this is a scared play coming out of SK. It's not that they're worried that they're going to lose this round. It's just that they want to make sure that they don't hand anything to G2, like they run into a triple stack or anything like that. And when G2 keep giving them sort of single kills like this, that's fine. They still have 35 seconds here. Fer is with the bomb, and I guess the only thing that could go bad here is maybe if he got picked off away from the team. But 25 seconds, he's going to start to make his way back. They are cutting it a bit close, and Scream, he's on the bomb side. Shox is moving in as well. They got to get this bomb down on the sidewalk into the plant here, and if they get caught in transition, that would just be awful. There's the smoke going up, making sure they can make it across here. Scream trying to get closer. 10 seconds. He's in there with the deagle looking for the angle. Oh, no, it's right across his shoulder, and the bomb is going to be going down. Scream will as well, and now Shox to fall last. If he had got that kill, they would have run the round.
Yeah. Solid recovery. That would have split them in half as well. Although Cold was pushed up pretty aggressively. He might have caught Shoxy out still. That did some damage. They got 2 kills out of that for G2, but that's not quite good enough here. They really needed to deny the bomb plant. Shoxy's got 4,200 in the bank, though. So going into this next round, we might see Shoxy spend a little bit here just to get some Kevlar, just to get some pistols. Exactly. There we go. He goes for the deagle, $700 investment. That's fine because he still has plenty to work with coming up in the next round. The key round here for G2 in the 5th. 2-1 right now. SK Gaming in the lead, and they're going all out towards this B side. Look at that Fer stomping on his teammates' heads. He doesn't care.
I guess that's one way to really efficiently get into a bomb site, just carrying each other in there. Body, C-Connector, realizing that we gambled on the wrong bomb site, and we're not going to have a chance in this round. And in fact, they're just going to be spreading out, probably looking for exit kills. And SK, I mean, they got to think about how much they can hunt this too. Sure, Coldzera with the UMP, go hunting all you want, but the rest, they don't have that much money.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of how spread out they are right now. It's more like move together as a unit rather than having Fer, you know, kind of sheer off on his own. Fallen will find the kill on Smiths. So that opens up one path of retreat. He doesn't know that Scream is there just yet. Fer takes down Shoxy as well. So that's the deagle out of play, but there, boom, instant headshot. And he's down to 15 HP already, Fallen. That's a scary scenario, because if he goes down, maybe that's an AK that gets dropped, and G2 can save that for the next round. It's not looking like it's going to happen, though.
Now, if I recall correctly, 15 is around how much you need to be near the ladder there when the bomb goes up, but he's going to be moving further away, so now he'll definitely be fine. Only FNX going down so far, and Scream all the way back here. Grenade not going to catch him, so that will make it another round for SK. 3-1 early on here on the T side, which is, I mean, their worst side definitely on this map.
Yeah, no, they're known for the CT side, right? We just have to keep repeating that because it's insane how good they are at getting that lockdown. G2 are also no slouch on train. That's why I haven't fully given up on the Frenchman. There is the hint of a possibility that we could end this 2-0 here, that G2 could be moving on into the semifinals. But SK Gaming, I mean, they pretty much have to fall asleep for that to happen, so we'll see. Default spread here from SK Gaming at the beginning of the round once again, and Fallen and FNX moving together over towards Alley. Really spreading out, looking to apply pressure to the defense, whereas Taco waiting for any kind of aggression to come through here on Brown Halls.
This round really, in many ways, is the big test for G2. If they can get this round, then they will slow down SK quite a bit. If they can't, and look at Shox. This is incredibly unusual. Fallen obviously has an idea that someone might push here. I don't think he realizes where Shox is. I don't know how this happened. We called it mid-battle, but this is a battle of patience right now. Fallen on the other side, Shox. If he can get this kill, he's going to even make it out. And there it is. Look at him just falling back. He knows it. Wow.
That threw a wrench in things. Fallen now at this point is like, what? Where did this guy come from? And now G2, based on that, they don't see anybody at Alley anymore. And so RPK is going to start communicating that over to his teammates. Smith's playing connector, or close to connector, can get over to that B side fairly quickly here. Cole coming through the smoke, going to get annihilated by Scream, but Taco trades it, takes down Body, and Taco looking for the headshot. Not quite going to find it just yet. There it is. And now, just like that, SK Gaming, in the blink of an eye, they have the B site.
A lot of confidence on Taco and on Fur as well. They don't even rush to get the bomb down. They wait for G2 to make their rotation in. This is a great round. Finally, Taco going to be taken out. That makes it a 2-on-2. They don't have any Molotovs on either side here, and that's really important with this B-bomb side. Fur going to try and fall back. He's got 2 health left. Grenade goes out, and he escapes through the smoke. FNX picks up the kill, and now it's on Shox. He doesn't have a kit. Can he get that defuse? It's 10 seconds, and FNX walking right into him here on the slope. It's not going to happen. Shox will pick it up, but does he have the time for it? I think he has, and that's a huge round here for G2.
Fantastic work from Shoxy. Quad kill for him in the round as well, just taking fights everywhere, but somehow he's a ninja as well. He just managed to sneak his way through there. That's insane. Starts it off by taking down Fallen, but then just basically does all of the work. His teammates were asleep. You can see Scream getting headshot there by Taco. His teammates not able to do anything to keep SK Gaming out of that B site, but this is what Shoxy's always capable of. He can always come alive and just have that incredible high impact round. Quad kill for him. That made all the difference. That saves G2.
And in that last 1v1, so much of it was decided by the fact that they didn't know if he was defusing or not, right? They didn't have the sort of the intel for it, and they didn't have the Molotov to clear him out in case he was. So very tricky one to try and win there. Now, G2, they win the round, but they still don't have the best equipment right now. And what a charge in body! Just putting an end to it. Taco and FNX getting caught inside of the Molotov and sprayed down with a FAMAS.
Body's nade timings are nuts. Just got to say that. I mean, on Nuke, it was actually showed on Twitter that that Body canceled that Molotov preemptively as well. He knew what was coming, threw down the smoke just as the Molotov blew up. There, he gets that incendiary down. That slows everything up for SK Gaming. His timing is impeccable. And now it's not going to happen. Bomb gets dropped out in the middle of nowhere. Fallen, however, point blank, drops Body. And the 180. Okay, then, now a 1v2. This is possible. With a minute left on this clock, Fallen has time to just sit and wait.
This kind of Fallen was not visible at all on Nuke, but he's here now. He's going to go for another peek right into Shox, but he can't get it. It's so close, but it doesn't happen. But still, that's got to strike fear. Everybody knows that Fallen, time and again, historically, he's been the one to bring this team back when they're down.
Exactly, in those big rounds, he knows when to step up. And he just has that capability. This is Body. Yeah, this is perfect. That's exactly how you want. That's the ideal scenario there for Body. You got the incendiary down. They're having to run through the flames. They're feeling the stress. And you just mow them down in droves. This looks like the first tactical pause here for
And it's interesting, right? It's really interesting because with the old timeout rules, we would have never seen one this early, right? They would have waited until they lost more rounds. But this is very early in the game for a tactical timeout. And I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing what SK are going to bring up. And look at the buy, Semler. I mean, you guys at home can't see this, but they are buying Tech 9s and a lot of grenades and armor and everything here.
It's just SK. I mean, I think they really just wrote Nuke off completely. Because they didn't take a single timeout on Nuke, even when they were getting their heads caved in. Now, on Train, which is their home turf, they're willing to go ahead and commit to it. They have 4 30-second timeouts. They could use all their timeouts in the first half if they wanted to on this T side, and then just get that lockdown going on the CT side. So I'm glad to see them using it early. It's a 30-second timeout. It adds on to the buy time. And now we get to see this worked on Nuke when they were able to get this kind of force buy going. That single AK on coldzera backed up by the Tech 9s. And look at that. I mean, this G2 do not have the weaponry to deal with this, really. They've got 3 MP9s.
They don't have a lot of money either, so if they lose this round, they're going to be ecoing. That's the calculation that SK made. They realized they don't have the money, but shots dropping in. Oh, he's going to be traded. FNX very quick with the Tech 9 and falling, running and gunning, taking down Scream. It's a nice refrag for Smiths. They need more, though. 3-on-3 right now. The bomb being picked up by Fallen really far behind coldzera and Taco, but they are making their way towards that B bomb site. And let's see what they have. Taco, if he stays on the high ground and the bomb goes down, he has that Molotov. Watch out for that. Body has the one smoke that they can use to cancel it. Those 2 grenades here could decide a round like this. Body is in position, but I don't think he can hold the bomb site on his own, so those grenades are going to be critical.
Nicely done by Body. Managed to get back around the corner there, staying alive. Cold not going to find anybody behind the spools, and Fallen will be able to get the bomb plant. And so now it comes down to G2 pacing themselves. There is a kit on Smiths. Wait, Fallen canceled the bomb plant?
Yes, he did, and they also used all of their grenades, so that's a little bit weird. Imagine if Taco still has his. I think they could have definitely played for that, but now 3-on-3. AK, MP9, Tech 9 here for SK to win the round and really put G2 in a deep hole. Fallen playing close with the Tech 9. He's going to get wrapped around and instantly taken out. Now they're trying to get back in, but the flashbangs doing so much here to just buy time. coldzera has to go for the fight. They're going to double up on it. There's Taco alone, 1-on-3. He's going to try for it. Gets 1 kill, but it's not enough. The defuse will happen. And G2 barely winning the round, but they do win it.
That was the longest defuse of Smith's life, even with the kit. Because I think he came off it for a second there. Maybe RPK was like, there was a little bit of shakiness that RPK wasn't going to be able to hold the line there. This is just too funny, though. Shoxy getting the drop. That's just so frustrating for Fur. That's not supposed to happen. How does Shox keep infiltrating? He's getting these timings down perfectly to just keep infiltrating the lineup. And it's the 2nd tactical timeout used here by SK Gaming.
Wow, this is a meta game that we've pretty much never seen before. Just take the tactical timeout, try for a round, then do it again. And again, they're going to sort of halfway buy up. They're not using all their money in this round, but they know that that was down to a 1-on-2. They know G2 don't have the economy. This kind of philosophy is one that Envy, when they were in their prime, proved can work. Playing on the T side, if you keep the pressure on, the CT side is never going to develop a good enough economy that they can take a loss. And as soon as they do, they're going to be saving, and then you're in the lead again. It is a risk, though, but I'm kind of excited to see it anyway.
Yeah, Countdown has begun to get into the round here, and it is going to be a full buy, although Shoxy is delaying quite a bit. Shoxy, all right, that was a long wait before we actually bought the MP9. But we're live into it, and SK Gaming once again have forced up with the Tech 9s. Not a full force, this is just a half buy. They've kind of dropped it off at 2,000. They have 2,000 in the bank pretty much across the board. And so they're looking to do some damage, hopefully get a bomb plant this round. And then in the next, they will have the rifles. They'll have that AWP for Fallen. And once again, Shoxy infiltrating. He's just getting all the way to the back line. But this time, it's not for free. Taco catches him out in the open.
You see how confused Shoxy was? I shouldn't be laughing, but that is funny. Now it's a 4-on-5 here, and they're trying to wrap around. Look at FNX infiltrating Connector, and he's going to take down Body. He had no idea, and he's got to be yelling at his teammates. Who the hell is watching that yard? You have 3 people out there, and none of them catching FNX running in. That settles the round. G2 have to run away and save these rifles. What a play from SK.
I mean, SK have used this strategy as well before in the past. So now, basically, SK Gaming are going through their playbook. They're like, all right, timeout. Which one do we want to use, boys? Which is going to be effective?
And I do want to point out the strategy of having a terrorist wait in Pop Dog and go through C Connector, especially once the bomb is down, is a strat that runs all the way back to 1.6 train. It is an ancient tactic that's been used for a very long time, but it's so effective. This was like a completely wild version of it where you just do it in the middle of everything, but still, it's quite cool. That has a lot of years on its back. Now, RPK and Scream trying to see if they can keep it alive back here. Taco, can he make it through the smoke? He's going to look at the jump and actually Fallen. He picked up 2 headshots there. That was 2 rifles lost. They only saved the AWP in that round. Ridiculous.
I mean, let's see here. It is going to be full rifles across the board. They even managed to deny 2 of those guns. You can see the impact that has on G2's economy here. They desperately needed to hold on to those guns. At least Smith survives with the AWP, so they have a bit of heavy firepower here, G2. 2 rifles, the AWP, but then it's a shotgun and a P250, and Smith's not going to hit the shot on Fur, who leads. Body, that's one of the rifles gone.
And look at it, full rotation into B right now. G2 kind of hitting the panic button right now. They've only lost one person, and already they rotate 3 out of 4 players from the A-bomb side right in here. That's maybe a little bit too much. Shox and Scream are on it. RPK and Smith are on the other side. This is a very dangerous setup, because whatever bomb site SK attacks, they're going to be in a 5-on-2 essentially. So that's... I'm not a big fan of this. I think they need to push for information. RPK is in a perfect position for it, in fact. He needs to go in the main right now and see what's up.
Yeah, because they don't have anybody at alley right now. That rotation is actually coming from Smith over towards the B site, and it looks like they just want to gamble and call a stack here. Great. G2. Minute left on this clock. It's very early to put 3 players on this B site. Soon to be 4. RPK is now rotating over. This is going to be quite the welcoming committee here. SK Gaming, they are not going to expect running into all of G2 waiting for them on the B site.
This is brilliant. This is very, very smart play coming out here. It's a huge gamble, but right now it looks like it's going to pay off. Grenades are raining in. Scream close with the max. 7. Oh, they're going to delay a little bit. Are they going to go for it? Pop flash in and Scream out of the round. Shox next. And RPK on the train here, trying to see if he can keep it alive, but it just won't happen. Smith, he's alone. He's also circled in right here. No chance for him at all. That was in spite of the fact that G2 made a great tactical decision. It just wasn't enough anyway. 5 versus 4, and they forced into this round. Now they're broke.
That is such a dirty flash timing. Like that was, you saw Scream. I mean, he's waiting. You keep turning around, and it never comes, and then boom, out of nowhere, that delayed flash opened everything up there for SK Gaming.
Yeah, that's very, very hard to dodge. It doesn't touch any walls either, so there's not that little dink that goes in first. He just got caught with his pants down. It's going to be 10th round coming up here. A Mac 10 on Taco, I love that. But it's going to be Fur and Fallen to lead the charge. Obviously, you'd want to put the Mac 10 in first, but not this time.
Yeah, Scream on high, we'll see. Bomb could go anywhere. It's still dropped up in the hallway, so it could go towards that B site. Smoke goes down in connector, and Body just checking to make sure there are no shenanigans happening over here. Seems like Fallen is feeling pretty confident. He's going to go ahead and check the sniper spot in just a moment here, and Scream will be found out. Easy kill for Fallen. And that leaves it down to Body, who just throws himself in there bodily, and it's not going to happen. 6 to 4.
Ready to take the fight against all 5 of them. This is a catastrophe for G2 right now. 6 rounds, I think, is all SK need on this first half, and they're already there. And G2 are struggling economically. This is sort of like a mirror of what happened on Nuke for SK, you know. G2, they're playing the CT side, but they never have the money to buy everything they want. And even now, you know, Smith, he's got the AWP, yes, but he's got no armor, no grenades. They don't even have a defuse kit. They're broke, Semler.
Well, this is exactly what happened to SK Gaming on the first map. Look at this quick push. They're going for it again. All out, G2. They want to take the fight, and they're running in one after another. Don't hesitate. You got to go in and take the fight at this point. Shoxy, it pays off, and then Fallen gets the double spray, and that's pretty much it. Done and dusted, although Scream is going to find a kill on FNX. SK Gaming, they just adjust so quickly. G2, they were looking for that fight so desperately. They tried to force it.
I think you're right. Once you commit that far up the stairs, you got to go for it. Just waiting around, especially because you're bumping into each other, that is not going to work. So, too much hesitation, and they get punished for it.
But this is, like I was saying before, the ultra aggression came out of G2 there. I mean, basically, G2, they had such a solid T side on Nuke because they constantly kept SK Gaming in check. On the economic front, they never had any nades, SK Gaming, to go for full buys. They were forcing, and we're seeing the exact same scenario here. SK Gaming are just not allowing G2 to find their groove and to really just go for full buys round after round. Fallen is going to take down Body, Taco as well. Very clean anti-eco here for SK Gaming. 3 players survive, and they should be feeling perfectly fine considering Fallen starts the round with 16,000 in the bank.
It is one of the funniest things when people try and sneak down the pop lock ladder and someone's waiting for them on the other side. You know,
right.
RPK this time going in sneaky beaky, but no chance at all. 16, 1, and 4. I think Fallen may have taken it a little bit personally, that he did sort of let the team down on Nuke. I think he's back in style right now, absolutely styling on G2. We could very well be seeing a third map here, which both our analysts did predict, and so far they're pretty much on the money here. Fur going to be turning around for a quick kill there on Shox, who's trying to bring it back. G2 need to win every single round from here on out, and good timing for Scream. Oh, what? He still can't win that fight. Unbelievable. And now Smith's going to come in and finally take care of business.
And he decides to give it up. He's going to go to that AK, and that's not going to work. Goes straight into Fallen's crosshairs there. And we're into a 2-on-2. Fallen's still alive, and Cold, basically the 2 heavy hitters for SK Gaming. Cold even going to get the spot on RPK. He knows there's a man playing on the site itself.
Cold Zero Walking in here with the AK. Does he catch the side of RPK? I'm not sure if he saw a little glimmer of him. Fallen going to be running all the way up in the white holes to get the bomb into, well, actually into Pop Dog maybe. He could be trying to reconnect with Cold Zero here. It looks like he's bringing it back around to B instead. It's a little bit tricky, but they do have a lot of time left. A lot of noise being made out here, and Cold Zero winning the fight against RPK. Now, Body, 1-on-2. This is pretty much for the half.
This is the big swing round. 13th round. And while now they still have 30 seconds to sit and wait, and Cold, he could be anywhere on this map at this point. RPK will have spotted him at the back line, but Body now has to worry about Cold getting into CT spawn. Fallen still looking to see if he can get into brown halls. They haven't spotted Body, but Cold right now is giving so much information to Fallen. Fallen decides finally, I need to start moving here. 15 seconds left. You do not want to lose this round by running out of time. SK Gaming, 11 seconds left, and Body just now rotating back in.
Yeah, he's going to realize any second now that the bomb is going to be going down, but he has no idea where Cold Zero is, so this is a little bit scary. Jumps right through, and a mid-air headshot. He's been hitting those all day. I can't believe it. But that was a 2-on-3 victory for SK. They turned it around, put Fallen on 17 kills, and this time it's a tactical timeout for G2. But you've got to think maybe, just maybe, it's a little bit late in the day for this kind of play.
Well, they're going to start slowing things down themselves. They've had 2 tactical timeouts used by SK, G2 that is, right? 2 free timeouts basically where they get to sit and talk things over as well. But their money is in shambles right now. For the most part, it's around $4,000. It's Shoxy who has $4,950. But the rest of his team, I mean, they are just not hitting shots whatsoever. It seems really lackluster right now on the stats for G2. And when you're not hitting the shots, I mean, it's not going to be panning out for you. SK Gaming, clearly comfortable on the T side. They're just going to roll all over you. Scream has gone for the force. Well, no, it is going to be the force buy. They had just enough, it looks like. But they're going to be light on nades again.
Similar, you were making the point on Nuke that that SK got only 5 rounds on their CT half, and that's in spite of winning the pistol. The same as Super G2 here. They're at 4 rounds, and they won the pistol.
Yeah.
They should have had way more than this, and it's just not happening. We could well be on our way to a 3rd map here. We're going to see if G2 can somehow turn this around. I'd be shocked if they could. SK are suddenly looking very much alive here on train, and 3rd map's going to be Dust 2. Who knows what will happen there?
Really? That is a very cool nade. Forces Smith back around the corner. Obviously, Smith had heard Fur drop down there, though, so it's nothing big, and he just goes into it, actually. He's going to get that check, and now he's in position to go for the flank if he wants. Fur, if he goes for this peek, he's now turned into the standoff. Smith, it's a game of patience. But that bomb is up in Brown Halls, and that does make you think that SK Gaming want to make the push there. Shoxy is in position to go for the peek into Brown Halls as well. Is supported by Body. Body has a flash grenade as well.
Wow, just waiting right on that ladder. Shock's going to take a bit of a peek in. Fur he can't put his eyes over that ladder. He has to stay there, and Shock's going to be going down. That is not a good sign.
Deciding to be the hero, Shoxy. And yeah, sometimes you have to go for the confidence play. Sometimes you just have to believe that you're going to win the duel. But that puts G2 in a real tough spot now that SK Gaming, they've got all the rifles. They have plenty of nades left to work with, and it's going to come down to a lucky play basically coming in here from G2. It looks like 2 players already stacked up in Pop Dog for G2 to try and cut things in half, and Body going to start things off strong by taking down Fur, but they haven't even committed to the B site yet, SK.
No, in fact, they're running the bomb back into main right now. Fallen taking a lot of damage, going to go for the fight. Oh, Scream picking up the kill there on Fallen. That's a very important shot, and Taco goes down. Scream being put into play, and he just makes it work. Great double kill, and Body as well helping out. Finally, a 5th round picked up here for G2. The tactical timeouts, they're really working.
Yeah, they are actually, and I'm surprised to see that we don't have another one here. I mean, why not? It's the winning formula at this point. Take those 30 seconds, but it's not going to happen. Clock is ticking down. Shoxy going to go for the force. He has to go for a 5-7. No, he's got a rifle to work with. This is this is probably the best round that we've had so far, just in terms of gear. Everybody's got their rifles. Double AWP on SK. And Cold is basically daring Shoxy to go for the aggression again over here. He's just like, please, peek, make my day.
Taco going to walk right into RPK. He sees the shoulder there. A lot of damage being put in, but RPK on the other side going to put the smoke, walks into it, and wins the fight. Taco just not the best fight that he could have taken there, and FNX behind him couldn't even help out.
That's brutal. There's no possibility for a trade kill there. Definitely not expecting RPK to challenge and just play for the confidence. And again, these are the kinds of plays that G2 need to make. They need to believe that they're going to win those duels, and RPK does it handily. There's a crossfire set up as well. Smith should be looking towards main. No, he's right on the edge of the smoke. But he's got that C's head up close, and so he could definitely pick this up.
A bit of a pop flash in there. FNX, he kind of needs to open up this IV position if they want to go for the A-bomb side. Otherwise, the defense is going to be a bit too much. He's waiting for a moment back here. First picked up the bomb, and he's going to take it into white holes, suggesting that this could end up in a B push. But then they have to beat body over in brown holes. So this is still not very easy at all. FNX, he makes it around the corner. Can he catch Smith here? The timing is perfect, and coldzera winning a fight. Almost a double kill there for FNX, but not quite now. 3-on-3 with 34 seconds left. They're running into the site, and coldzera, this is such a good position.
Yeah, poor communication basically on G2's part there. RPK letting that guy right through. That is so painful if you're Smith. There's nothing you can do in that sort of scenario. But there's the flash. coldzera forced off the angle. Scream now will have the edge, but no, Cold with the flick. Drops him. And it's a man advantage now. SK Gaming with that bomb planted. And this, it's exactly what happened on Nuke. This is crazy. Fur drops RPK, and now it's on Shoxy, who's got 15 HP with a kit and a dream.
You're absolutely right. It is 10-5 in favor of SK for the first half on their T side of train. Exact same, only reversed here for SK. What a comeback for them mentally, too. They looked so defeated at the end of that Nuke map. Now they're going to be feeling a whole lot better. And G2, I had no idea how they're going to survive. On this map for SK is monstrous. We are going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be the second half coming up. Stay with us.
Intel Extreme Masters Oakland is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kinguin, iBuyPower, Best Buy, Totino's, Acer, and Xfinity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the first match, second half coming up here between SK and G2, and everything has been turned on its head. Suddenly, the Brazilian team is looking red hot, and G2, I just have no idea how they're going to dig their way out of this. This is terrifying.
Hopefully they've come up with a couple of pocket strats that SK Gaming have never seen before. But considering SK Gaming have practically seen it all on this map, and they're the ones dictating everything that happens, it's going to be tough. Actually, hey, let's just do that. Let's do exactly what SK Gaming did.
Why
in
not?
The pistol, right? 4 players towards Ivy here for G2, hoping for SK to get aggressive, but it's SK peeking for info and B halls. And so SK are thinking the aggression will be coming over from there. Not the case.
They're all looking the wrong way right now. FNX turns around, Fallen with a good headshot. That's a great start. FNX to follow it up. He gets 2 and even gets to reload in the corner. They can't track him down. Shox trying to fall back in. Body practically brawling with Fur there. It's going to be a headshot finally, but Shox is alone. He's going to go down, and SK... I mean, this is like a mirror of Nuke. Now, how do they possibly lose this? They're going to have to actively try and throw this game away if they want to.
Yep.
This is just shocking.
So far, Nuke and Train, both teams have won their CT pistols every time. Like 2 pistols for SK, 2 pistols for G2, all of them CT side. They can't seem to get anything going on their T-side pistols whatsoever. Going to be interesting to see. It looks like we're going to be going to that map 3 on Dust 2, so how things will pan out there, it being a bit more of a T-sided map. But right now, it's Smiths towards main, making sure that SK can't really push through, hoping for a lucky headshot there, but he's not going to get it. Instead, he gets a face full of shrapnel.
That's not the best way to get started, and a bit of a follow-up there. Scream also taking some damage. I mean, in 16 rounds, Fallen has only died 5 times. That in itself is ridiculous. They just can't get rid of him. Fallen even playing aggressively here, close with the UMP, which they do have 3 of on the team, so they're looking to make a lot of money if they can. Cold Zero down here. He's going to be up against armor, so it's not completely safe. And as a result, he will be falling back. That smoke, they're going to challenge it immediately. And Body will win the fight. And following up on Fur, what a great start here for G2. RPK as well, the run and gun Tech9. This time it works out. FNX going to be all alone, trying to fall back up. Backup is not going to be here in time. Oh, what on earth is going on? FNX, that's one of the most insane turnarounds we've seen for a while here. Now Taco, 1 versus 2. Not quite sure where the remaining player is.
He's so good, Taco! Snuffs Shoxy when he comes around the corner, and now he's in position. He's going to have plenty of time to reload. 35 seconds left. It's Scream has to make the play, and Taco with the pre-fire. He hears him coming from a mile away. And I was about to say that this is exactly what happened in the first half, where G2 win the pistol, SK coming right back into him, take the second round, and run on from there. That's where it started, the dominance for SK Gaming on their T side. Thought that G2 could pull it off, but Taco had something else in mind. What a save. 12-5 now for SK Gaming.
Honestly, those 2 kills for Fur were ridiculous. I mean, obviously the second one, that's what saved the round. He should have been gone. There was no way for him to fall back. He couldn't make it back around the bomb train. He was way out in the open, and he still picked up those 2 kills. Shocking display of skill there. Now, 12-5 is the scoreline. A lot of smokes raining in here. G2 just throwing everything at this bomb site. But look at the boost coming in here. FNX up on the train, just looking over the smoke. The bomb will be going down, but now look at his advantage here. He can see almost everything.
Fallen's like, you're trying to use our strat against us, boys? Okay, then. Allow me to completely and utterly ruin your day. Another big kill coming through, and basically this is just SK Gaming keeping full control. They know what to expect in this round because it's practically their strat. So if you're going to try and use it against them, it's not going to work out well for you. They're going to be way too fast at spotting that.
Very well done. 13-5 is going to be the scoreline here, and we're moving into the 19th round. It's going to be 20 kills on Fallen here, and we're just starting in the 19th round. I can't believe it. Everybody else on SK is doing extremely well too, so this is just a very good job overall.
Yeah, just complete reversal here from Nuke. But each team is, I mean, basically Nuke was G2's map. SK Gaming, they picked Train. Each team is just dominating on their map pick. When we get into Dust 2, which is going to be the 3rd map in this best of 3, that's where things are going to get fun. I think that's going to be much more of a brawl that could float either way. But for now, at least, we still need 3 rounds here for SK Gaming to pick up this 2nd map. And we'll see if it's possible. Taco just barely gets out in time. Shoxy going to get completely destroyed by Fur.
He was trying to beat that timing, see if he can catch him as he's fallen back, and just doesn't work out at all. RPK is also going to be going down. G2, I mean, when you're this far behind, you just have to try whatever feels good. Like, it's very hard to call exactly what the right strategy could be at this point in time. You spy as much as you can and see if you can't turn it around.
This is just slow play all day here for the rest of them. I mean, they're down 2 players here for G2. They really do have to hope that SK Gaming are going to make an elementary mistake, but there's the flash. Doesn't matter. Body with the pre-fire is going to take down Cold. 3 on 4, 45 seconds left on this clock, and now G2 have got access to the back line, which means they could work their way through CT spawn towards B if they wanted to. Scream is up in Brown Halls, with Taco still holding solid on the site towards B. This is awkward. This is where it gets a little tricky.
It's a very weird round. We're down to 30 seconds as well. That's the big problem. Because SK aren't showing themselves so much, G2 are going to have to make the risk, and that's why it's smart that they don't. It's Scream 1 versus 4. If SK had got anxious and started to push out and look for them, maybe they could have won some of those fights and brought their way back in the game here. Scream doesn't have the bomb, so it doesn't really matter what he does in this position. They're going to fight to take the gun away from him, and they're going to be successful as well. Good double kill for FNX in the round, and 14-5 scoreline. This might be an even bigger win, just slightly at least for SK. They could do this 16-5.
Certainly. I mean, maybe we do get that mirror if they can just get this buy here, G2 to work. They're going for a half buy. Well, I think this is actually a full force on their part. It is. So it's going to be the Tech-9s, full nades, 2 rifles, one on Scream, 1 on Shocks. They win this round, Anders. So they get up to 6, like SK on Nuke, and then SK Gaming end this map when we go to Dust 2.
So, not an unfair prediction, I would say. A lot of it's going to come down to whether or not they can beat Fallen down here. He's been pretty much the champion of this team, at least on the map right now. Fallen trying to see if he can shut them down. A lot of grenades coming through. He has to make it back around the corner. He's got Cold Zero to back him up, and he's going to knock them out. That's a double. Looking for the 3rd one in there. Can't quite get it, but it doesn't matter. Fur and FNX will clean up the round. 15-5. I mean, this is just a hallmark of a championship-winning team. You see how quickly they bounce back, even after a big defeat on Nuke.
Yeah, no, they know the game plan here, and they know that this is going to go to map 3. Cold, it's such a perfect position to put him in as well towards Alley, where he can support with multiple targets running around. It's his signature. It's like a machine that he's just able to keep his cool. He rarely ever oversprays. It's always so controlled, and so G2 just running into the blender there. It is going to be the buy with the rifles here for G2. They have the AKs at least, but they are very light on nades at this point, and Smith's lucky break for him. Still survives. Fallen not going to find that shot, but then Body decides to just spray through the smoke, and Fallen's going to get a free kill.
They're just on fire right now. A little bit of a pop flash coming in. Taco landing a headshot on Fallen. It is 3 more kills, and SK will just sweep this map away from G2, and we'll go to map 3. It's down to Scream and Smith here. 2 on 3. Still a little bit of a chance. Scream has picked up the bomb over at the other side, but now he's going to be alone. And Taco is here to hold it down as soon as he makes any noise, and he just did. Cold Zero, Fallen going to be coming in. Scream all alone, running out in upper. He's exposed, and that is it. 16-5 as SK take away Train. And we're going to go to map 3, ladies and gentlemen. What a power performance.
This is just, yeah, the mirror performance. Now we have to look and see if G2 are going to be the ones who are going to be able to keep their cool going into Dust 2, right? Fair enough, we lost on their map, but Dust 2, it could go either way. So that's what we're going to find out next after this long break. We're going to head it over to the analysts now to see what they have to say about this second map.
Anders and Semler there. An expected result, perhaps, as we did discover on the desk. I'm joined by YNK and Daze to once again understand what on earth SK do oh so right on Train. Because it was, as we stated, an incredibly one-sided affair. SK still masters of Train. 23 wins offline and 2 losses on that map in their existence as a team. Now, I want to start with you, Sam. You pointed out before we went into this that there were very little ways for G2 to pick up a win.
You know, I know we shouldn't praise G2 because they just lost 16-5, but I actually think they did exactly what they needed to do to actually give themselves a chance to win.
Right.
They did not play their normal setup. They knew if they did, they would lose. They lost those 2 rounds, the Tech-9 round and the following round, which broke their money and really put them into a deep hole that half. Yeah. But they came into that match knowing that, hey, if we play a straight-up fight with them, we're not going to win. And that's only what LAN veterans do like G2. They've been to so many tournaments, and they know they had a bad chance at winning that game. So instead, they said, hey, we're going to try to pull hair, bite, do whatever we can to try to get a victory here. And it actually almost worked. I know it was 16-5, but they could have very easily had a 10-round CT side half. That 4-man interstack that they had, when SK hit it, that was another situation where they say, hey, we got nothing to lose, okay? Yep. Let's stack right here. Let's hope they come. If they would have won that round, SK would have been in a pretty poor economic situation. So I think that was smart by G2. Just SK they're too good on train. They understood what happened. When they pushed 3 inside, they were just waiting for him. They said, hey, let's just slow it down and
SK too good on train, Yanko. Is that a nice way to summarize? Did we get what we asked for from the Brazilian side?
I think they just won the crucial rounds, right? They lose pistol, but then they force buy in the second round. That's where G2 slips up a little bit. The guys at casting pointed it out as well. Smith's got the kill on cold, got the bomb. G2 was in a 3v2, but his teammate just died, you know, fell to the SK players. And that was a very, very important round, because if SK loses that round, their following by as well is going to be pretty weak. And TaCo has been playing really well recently. I mean, this 1v3 actually that he won, that could have given G2 some momentum, definitely. Maybe they could start mounting a comeback, but he completely shuts it down.
Now, my question to you guys is actually regarding SK's dominance on train. How often does a team in Counter-Strike have a map that they genuinely have this much of a win streak on? Like, to the point where teams are rarely picking up wins. The last time they lost this was to G2 in the 3rd season finals. We just had the 4th season finals of Pro League. It's been a long time. What can you think of another team that has a dominance on one map?
Fnatic on Mirage for a while, with, you know, when JW was just going crazy with something like that. I actually think it happens fairly commonly. Actually, not quite to this extent, but a team just being the best team in the world at a map, I think it happens pretty commonly. It generally doesn't last for months and months and months, though. Usually teams catch up after, you know, 3-4 months or something like that. Hard to put a time frame on it, but go ahead.
It's also interesting how SK, I mean, it's been a quiet train for them. Not until, you know, Epicenter in Moscow where we're saying, wow, their train is really sick. And even before that, they had an amazing Scorpion. So it's a kind of map that sneaks through, and they've just been very, very proficient at it.
Yeah, it was the kind of 16-3s and the 16-2s versus your Virtus Pro as G2. But suddenly everyone was like, okay, this is a very scary map for SK. And it could very well be intriguing to see how Dust 2 does go down. It's going to be a full 3 maps to start off our day in playoffs. I'm so glad that we get to see absolutely the full extent of this series. And this isn't the only CS match that's been played here in the Oracle Arena. In fact, a little while ago, Henry G and Sadakis did battle in CS with a little bit of a twist, courtesy of Totino's. Let's check that out. When we return, we'll be talking about Dust 2. A third map in our first quarter-final, our first match here in the Oracle Arena for Intel Extreme Masters Oakland. A trophy and $300,000 is being battled for between the Brazilian side and French G2. But it does come down to a third map, and it does seem quite appropriate that we've seen the teams win their map picks up until now. Now it's not the case. It's Dust 2, and just before we went on, Sam, of course joining Yanko, you said to me, this one feels like a 50-50. You have to explain why.
Well, G2 is great on Dust 2, and so is SK. But when it comes down to it, this is G2's best map. I don't think it's SK's best map. Okay. And at times, G2 players can absolutely dominate, especially when you get someone like Shox, and if they can get a double op setup even on CT side. Smith performs well on this map, although he hasn't been opping very well in these last best of twos. He's been rifling good. So now he's going to need to pick up the op, move around like he usually does on CT side, and have a good impact.
An impact player, Smith's on Dust 2. It does seem like that's the recurring theme. Whenever he is criticized, the bounce back is he has a great performance on Dust 2.
And I think it's also a matter of, you know, him and his state of mind. He knows he's comfortable playing Dust 2, so he's more confident in taking aggressive peaks. You know, like Smith is one of the players who is very known for taking that mid peak with the op, which is something that's extremely difficult, and he was able to find openings with that as well. But I think in general, Dust 2 just as a map can be very random because it can be dependent on spawns, right? T-side gets that long spawn, they're going to go for it, so it comes down to how do the CTs perform in holding that early on. That can break the round very, very early on. So looking at G2, they like to go for those types of plays, also explosive plays towards B, Shox creating space for the rest of the team.
Is it G2 that are known for kind of relentlessly hitting B, if I'm not mistaken, like to the point of where you, Yanko, have shaken your head and not been able to explain it?
I mean, they have two different styles. They slow it down, they have that A execute with a lot of smoke, small toss, Shox lurks either towards long or towards mid, and they have those explosive plays towards B. They might group up towards B with 4 players. Shox just goes out mid by himself to draw attention to himself so that the rest of the team can get into a perhaps empty bomb site if the CTs are focusing on mid, or the other way around, right? He's towards B, the team exposed mid.
Lots of B hits then coming out from G2. Your expectations and win conditions for an upset here and seeing SK knocked out in the quarterfinals, Dazed?
I think G2 on their CT side, we're going to see a lot of Smiths on catwalk with Shox. I think they need to stop any early aggression from SK and actually make it 4v5. You know, taking catwalk control. If their B aggression works on that B tunnels and Smith is able to op in there and get a pick, which I'm sure SK is going to be ready for, they're going to have success. But it's going to be about making it 4v5 and being able to set up. Right. If they can't set up and they can't get an early pick and it stays 5v5 CS, I really, really favor SK. So
you're suggesting as time goes on in the round, the likelihood of SK winning grows?
As long as it's 5v5 CS, yes. And that's one of the things we'll see if G2 is going to be successful on those early aggressions.
Drawing blood early. Yanko, then, your final thoughts and a prediction, as it is now our third map, our final decider between G2 and SK.
I think it's going to come down to who can win more rounds on the T side in full gun rounds, because as we saw, both teams tend to win their CT pistols and have a good start on CT. That means you actually have to win gun rounds in order to reset them and get a couple of free anti-eco rounds. So, yeah, I think it's going to come down to that. In terms of the prediction itself, who's going to win, I don't do that, Alex.
You don't do that. This is the Mohican Yanko. This is it. He's going to be rocking that one. Okay, let's go.
My original prediction was SK. I'm going to stick with it. I think G2 is very reliant on Smith here. We'll see if he comes through. If he comes through big, that's awesome for G2, and I'm happy for him. But he shoulders a lot of the load on this CT side.
I love it when you talk about loads. All right, let's get into it. It is our third map of the first quarterfinal. Who will meet Astralis? We'll find out with your casters as it does too between French G2 and the Brazilian powerhouse.
Thank you very much, Alex. A bit of a weird end to the segment, but I do appreciate it anyway. Yes, we're getting into the third map here. It's our first quarterfinals of Intel Extreme Masters Oakland. It's been wild already. We've had some huge wins for both teams. G2 taking the first map 16-6, then they got knocked out of train 16-5 instead, and now we're on Dust 2. So hope you guys are ready for it. Sam, are you ready?
Yes. Because this is the map that we've been waiting for pretty much. Nuke, easy win for G2. They completely crush SK Gaming. SK Gaming then get their map pick on train, run over G2, not even a fight. They actually did one better. It was 16-5 instead of 16-6 for SK Gaming on train. And so now we get to go into G2's strong map, yes, but SK are fired up. So it's Dust 2 with G2 starting on the T side and right into the pistol. Very little utility. Shoxy, in fact, going for the P250 smoke and flash. And let's see, FNX is in position to challenge on short, and I think they're going to do it fairly soon here. Fallen has got his back.
Yes, I really appreciate the P250. It can be very hard on this map to get close enough with the Glocks for them to really matter. SK have a huge chance of winning the pistol here with the USPs. They're so good, and we'll see if they can close the distance. They are getting up onto catwalk. There's 3 people waiting. Smith's just checking the smoke, and now we'll see if they can best it around the corner. FNX raiding. He's going to be the first point of contact from behind him. coldzera, FNX as well. It's headshots coming in all around. Double kill for Fallen, and that leaves Scream alone here. 1 on 3. He's got the 1 kill in, but how do you get out of this one?
You don't. You die. You got 38 HP. They know exactly where you are. He's boxed in. Now Fur has rotated in to box him in on catwalk as well. Fallen completely gives up long. Doesn't even care about it anymore. And if he tries to go CT, Taco is ready and waiting down there. And so now it's all about Scream just getting the bomb plant. He has no idea where Fallen is, though. He has to be thinking that Fallen is still holding it long, so he's going to have to try and plant for catwalk, but he's taking so much time that he just needs to go for the safe plant. Cross his fingers, hope, guarantee that money for his team.
And interestingly enough, because Fallen fell that far back, actually Scream can put the bomb down without really contacting anybody here. He's also stolen a USP. This is the headshot machine, so let's not rule anything out, but he's going to have to really perform here. Out on catwalk, he can't fall back. He's out in the open, and he's going to be going down. That was a good kill for Fur. I mean, Scream, he would have to just basically not miss a single shot there for that to work out, so very tricky for him to try and pull it through. SK picking up the pistol round. Off to a good start.
And a hard counter. It's as hard as it gets. Look at this. This is at the same level of G2 taking the risk of having 4 players on B and then SK go running into it and SK bowled their way through. This time, however, SK, they hard counter G2 in the pistol, put 3 guys on catwalk. Like, if you're coming up catwalk, we are going to annihilate you. And that's exactly what happened. So, real tough break here for G2, considering the beating they just took on Train. For them to lose the pistol in that fashion, it's not ideal. At least they get the bomb plant. But then that also speaks, for me, that also speaks to the confidence that SK are showing right now. They're like, we don't care if you get the bomb down. You know, we're so confident in our ability to retake it. We don't care if you get the bonus money. Just go ahead, you know, get it over with and move into the second round where SK Gaming have got the rifles.
Yeah, just making absolutely sure they didn't give that one away, and that is pretty much a smart play, I reckon. FNX over at long must have been able to hear them running into middle. They did run just a little bit. Now they are congregating towards the catwalk again. Fallen going to be the first point of contact this time. He's got a UMP and a Molotov, so it's hard for them to catch him on this corner. You see, just easily falls back and just delaying a little bit, but I mean, for them to catch him, they would have to basically just throw everyone at him.
Yeah, fully commit. Even though Fallen, there's nobody there to support him. What's happening now is FNX is pushing out through a long. He's boxed G2 in on catwalk. coldzera is going to be rotating back up as well. He's going to hear the footsteps. FNX is going to be in a prime position to just go rushing in. Scream going to be looking the wrong way here, and Fallen drawing attention to himself. That goes, he mows them down. Quad kill for Fallen. FNX does get the drop on Scream eventually. And a 2-0 lead now for SK Gaming.
It's very...
So each of these teams has won their CT pistol, by the way, as well, across all 3 maps.
No, that's a very good point. They were able to get up there pretty quickly as well, just because they did the run boost, actually, to get out on catwalk. So, really good job. They didn't really catch anyone, but still, that could have been interesting if they could have maybe closed in on Fallen there. That would have been fun times. That's 2-0 in favor of SK. Now, G2 have AKs. There's not a single AWP in play at all across the map, which is not unusual, but it's worth pointing out because later on, I mean, if they get the double up on coldzera and Fallen, that'll be very hard to stop for G2.
Exactly. That's, I mean, Dust 2, it plays to that. Shoxy's going to get caught by FNX. That was an aggressive push in long house by FNX. There was a smoke down as well by the looks of it. And somehow he catches Shoxy looking the wrong way. coldzera boosted up on the boxes in CT. Will be able to dodge the attempt at G2 to bring it back to a 4-on-4. Scream gets rebuffed. And now, with 1:10 left on this clock, this is perfect for SK Gaming. G2, all they can hope for are headshots. They have a single flash grenade to work with here to get onto a site.
Yeah, that means they can't smoke off CT spawn like they normally would to go for the B split. They're going to have to just fight coldzera, and with the UMP, they've lost 2 fights now, UMP versus AK, and that's just not good enough. Fur going to get the kill on body as well. That leaves RPK and Smiths with the bomb somewhere in between the 2 players. SK, solid lockdown here in the 3rd round.
This is the worst part as well, exactly. Fur's cut off RPK. He hears him stepping from a mile away, the easiest kill of Fur's life, even though he did make it look a little bit tricky there. Cold will find Smith, and this is looking like SK Gaming. This is what can happen on CT side, Dust 2. Good. I like the pause. There's the instant tactical pause. Shoxy, he has to know that things are getting a little out of hand here. He needs to slow down this pace because right now, G2... they're falling behind. They're losing the economic battle. They don't have the AWPs. They're allowing SK Gaming to not only dominate rounds, keeping a lot of players alive, but they're getting kills with UMPs as well. The economy is starting to really take off for SK Gaming, and this is the risk you run on Dust 2 CT side, is that sometimes if everything lines up and you get that perfect start, you can just completely shut a team out on their T side.
And you're right about the economy, because G2, across all 5 players in the first 3 rounds here, they have 3 kills total. So that's obviously nowhere near good enough. Fallen himself alone has 6-0 right now. So they need to put something on the board, and it is smart. I agree. You know, Shock's just making sure that his team doesn't lose all morale, that they get a chance to quickly just communicate and say, all right, it's fine. We're playing on the T side. We can still bring this back, definitely. 3-0 though early on, and a bit of a round coming out here with some deagles, but not really any armor picked up for the French side. We'll see if they can make this one work. Yeah, it's going straight up catwalk here. Smith leading the way with the bomb, not hesitating one moment. Looks like they were able to get just enough information there from Shoxy with the peek at long to think that they can try and dart up here and catch SK Gaming out of position, at least allow for them to get the bomb plant down, but it's just not happening. Total and utter destruction waiting for them. 4-0 lead now for SK. Look at that, a couple of Brazilian flags down in the crowd, so at least a couple of fans came prepared for this one. I like the little adjustment of putting RPK out in the middle to try and catch Cold Zero and CT spawn. It could have worked, but it didn't this time. Now we have the 8WP for Fallen, and G2, they don't have one to counter it with. No, they're going to be hard pressed here. It's all on the AKs. Not being able to go to that AWP fight, that's going to hold them back. Fallen as well is going to be very tricky to get a lock on. He's in mid doors now, looking to see if he can't catch out Shoxy, who's right on the edge, right around the corner. And there's the info. Single grenade, and now Shoxy has something to go off of. He knows that the AWP is over here. In the meantime, Cold Zero holds the line at the long house, and he gets 2 headshots. What a perfect Molotov to go down. FNX to clean it up. That's 4 kills traded for just the 1, and Fallen not going to miss the shot on Shoxy there. So that was just, I mean, textbook lockdown over at long. You have the crossfire. Even if they see the guy at container, they have to move up far enough that the pit player can see them. And even worse, they're standing on fire all the time that's happening. Now, 5-0 favoring SK Gaming. This is horrifying. Fallen hasn't even died yet. We're 6 rounds in now, and G2 have a total of 4 kills. Scream and Smith have killed 4 people. What is this? It's a blowout. Taco hasn't even seen anybody yet. Yep, they haven't gone B for him to really do anything, so obviously still a lot of variation left in G2 that they could try and do, but right now they just need a confidence boost. They need to remind themselves, wait a minute, we can actually get the kills, and preferably the first of the round here. The entry frag is going to be so important. FNX and Fallen over at long in a bit of a strange position, in my opinion. This is one of those positions where you can very easily be pushed in so that you're just in the middle of long waiting. It's hard to hold this one. I'm not a big fan of it. But this to me is where, like, the player, basically this comes down to Shoxy to make the play. That's going to fire up his team. He's got to lead them. Cold Zero's ready for Audi to drop down there, but Scream is there to trade. And this is looking like the shift. Fur and Taco, however, finally in the fight. G2 trying to go for some kind of delayed B split. RPK will get the drop on Taco, so he does have that going for him, but it's still a man advantage. And the bomb is dropped out in mid. It's on Shoxy now to come up with a big shot. There it is. Headshot on FNX, but Fur is there to trade. Comes out of the window, does take down the kill there. RPK with a good double. Now it's a one-on-one. Fallen inside. He hasn't even died yet. He just needs this 1 kill, and that might extinguish almost all hope for G2. Grenade going to be coming out, and there it is. He picks up the AK. Just 1 kill in the round, but it is enough. 9-1-0 for him, and 6-0 in favor of SK Gaming. I mean, G2, they are continuing to try and find a new variation. This time it was the B split, and it could have worked, but it didn't. Now another tactical timeout coming in here for G2. Yeah, SK are very good right now about establishing that mid control. Basically, with Cold and CT, pretty much every round, they're counting on the 2. They've made the 2-1-2 their default here for SK Gaming. 2 on the B site, 1 in mid, who's going to have that crossfire going with the man playing window at B, and then 2 guys over on A, focused on A long and on catwalk. So, I mean, right now, SK are just trying to cover the map, and the main thing is that they're just winning all of their duels. If Cold is able to trade 1 for 1, okay, great. That whittles G2 down. Then Fur comes in. I mean, each step of the way right now, SK, they're just winning their fights, whereas G2 are the ones who are really struggling to come out ahead. T side, it should be them finding the opening and then maintaining the man advantage, but it's completely flipped. And now they're going into a round where they just sort of half buy. They save enough money for the upcoming round that they can still buy, but this time they do have armor and pistols, so we could expect a bit of a quicker round here. They're not going to go for the straight B rush. They were sort of gearing up for it, but it is, I mean, when SK have this much money to work with, going for a B rush is sort of asking to just be burned alive by all those Molotovs.
Smoke goes down, and there's their opening. Now they can try and work their way out through. There's the incendiary thrown by Cold just to buy a little bit more time. coldzera and Fur still working as that duo to try and control mid. It's Taco's job to just look at a door every round, all round, looking towards upper dark. But the push begins, Smoke is down, and now Fur, flashed, has to fall back, give ground. And in the meantime, Taco, he needs to get the 2 kills, and he does. So we're into the 3-on-3.
This is maybe the best chance G2 have had so far in this map. Shox is hiding inside of the smoke. They're not realizing. Oh, they will catch him. coldzera, really good kill to come through. Now Body and Scream, they need to step it up. They have to win this round, G2. Otherwise, it's going to look really bleak. Scream going to go fighting up, but that's a great kill on FNX. Now it's down to a 2-on-2, and the bomb is still ticking. Body, is he going to try and challenge through those double doors? You've got to be very careful about that. coldzera sneaking in from upper, but Scream going to take him out. 3rd kill of the round for him, and Fallen, he gets the message. He's not welcome. And G2 going to pick up their first round of Dust 2. Finally.
On a rush play, on a force, well, on a half buy as well. Money that they were just trying to save their money for the next round. Now they're going to have a fantastic economy here, G2. They could go for double up. They could go for any number of things. But that is a big round for them. Considering it was really just looking a little bit grim there. SK 6 rounds in a row, just dominating. Wait a second. Taco? Why not? If he's playing Anchor B, if he's just sitting on plateau the entire time, having an op over there, that does work. Just a bit surprising not to see Cold, but Cold is going to get tagged. So sometimes, you know, there is a balance. Maybe they trade the guns now.
Well, I think you're right, though. It probably is because they want Taco to stay on that B-bomb side no matter what, so they just want the firepower. He's playing it from a slightly different angle than I would have expected, and actually, it seems like they've almost swapped positions here. I kind of expected Taco to be at the back of plateau with that rifle, but we'll see how it all turns out here. Fallen has one on the other side, and right now, they need much, much more here. G2, they need to at least equalize the score just to start feeling good about themselves. And they could start with a kill on Fallen here. They could pop flash him out of this.
I mean, it could happen. This is their golden opportunity, really. Money is not through the roof on SK Gaming's side, so this could be where they try and shift it around. There's only one man with about 8K. Fallen going to miss a flick. Usually pretty consistent about hitting shots like that, but this time around he's going to have to fall back. And Smith with the angle now gets to wait and see if Fallen's ever going to get greedy over here towards A, but Fallen playing that very solid position over by the cars. It's just going to be looking towards Catwalk. Luckily for G2, though, they have all utility necessary here. They have the smokes, they have the flashes, everything they need to force Fallen off of this angle.
FNX actually going to go and stand hard on the side. He's going to push into them right now. That's a crazy play coming out of FNX. He's going to get a double kill for it in return, and Fur helping out. Fallen, last kill of the round here. Double for him, too. That's such a crazy play for FNX. Normally, I think he would just be playing on the slope up at A. He actually ran all the way towards Gandalf and then all the way into Catwalk just to fight them as they're coming through the smoke.
Sometimes you just have to do the unexpected, right? FNX, this is a disaster, though, for G2. They just got their money hard reset. Everything has to go into this round. Somehow they have the money to afford getting this AWP here for Shoxy, so we'll see if he can get anything out of it. But G2 now, they're on the brink. If they lose this round here, it's all gone, because SK, they survived with 5 players alive last round. Their money is going to be solid.
They spot out Fur. He can't really easily repick this, so he's just going to have to wait for backup until Taco shows up. He's in the window, but Fur's already down. Taco looking for the shot, and he's going to win it against Shox there. That's an important kill. Taco repeaking right now could cost him the round, but the bomb is all the way over on Catwalk for G2, so this is an extremely confusing round. They have the bomb site. This is perfect. They just don't have the bomb there. They've sort of got it backwards here. Now Fallen going to push in with the tech line looking for Smith. He's going to run him down. Oh, no. The bomb is dropped. It can't happen. They had the bomb site. They don't have the bomb. This is horrific.
My eyes are just twitching at this point, Anders. I have no idea what the hell is going on here. G2 get the bomb, but then they're pushing Catwalk with the bomb? I don't understand. G2, this round is all over the place. It's almost like a wash. SK Gaming now, they have everything they need. They still have so many grenades left to just continue buying time. It really is just going to come down to G2. 2 players just throwing themselves in here bodily to see if they can pick that bomb up. No grenades left either for G2 to make anything happen.
No, and you see Taco just putting up another smoke there. They're just burning time off the clock right now. This is ridiculous. I mean, that's a clear sign of panic, I think, on the French team. That was not meant to go down that way. Now they're going to try and see if they can commit to it here. 24 seconds. SK, they might well steal this round in spite of not having a good setup for it at all. Cold Sierra is going to get the kill on Body and RPK and Scream. They might as well not even bother here. FNX going to pick up one. Scream around the corner. He's going to be going down. That's Fallen now at 13, 1, and 0. He still has not died. This man is indestructible.
This is unbelievable. But really, right now, G2, they're getting mopped. They cannot seem to get anything right. And that's so tough to see because against SK Gaming were not looking that solid throughout the group phase. They had to struggle for a few of their games, so they're not in peak performance right now. But this just shows that this could have gone either way. And right now, G2 are just failing to get their heads into it. Fur giving Shoxy a taste of his own medicine. Shoxy usually goes for the Dust 2 push up straight mid like that, aggressive with the MP9. But Fur showing that he can go ahead and play that game too.
Considering the caliber of this game and how much is at stake, I mean, if we discount online games, Fallen has got to be close to hitting a record here. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Someone's 10 rounds in a row hasn't died. 14, 2, and 0. So if someone go on Twitter or someone tell us if we're getting close to one here, use the hashtag IEM. This is crazy. We are in the 11th round. And I mean, Fallen, he was only gearing up on Train, and he was already wrecking G2, and now it's even worse.
Well, the timing isn't going to work this time for Smiths. Just a little bit late with the shot. SK Gaming changing it up as well. It seems like to them, they've convinced themselves. They've convinced G2 not to go for this B-split, but Taco at risk. He's going to get forced, but he hits the shot on Shoxy. No chance for Shoxy to open things up. And his teammates, the rest of them, they lost the bomb in mid. What is going on?
I just have no explanation for what we're seeing here. Cold Sierra almost getting caught. He does get caught, but the refrag is there for FNX, and that leaves Body 1 versus 3 here. And suddenly, they've got Targo. We've seen this a couple of times before, but that is actually... It's a very interesting depth that's developing him as a player. He's known as the run-and-gun superstar, you know, running through smoke, picking up kills, and that's sort of almost the opposite of what you expect out of someone who uses the AWP, but he's still making it work, and they're still at 10-1.
He's hitting shots. I mean, Shoxy. Where was the rest of Shoxy's team, though? I mean, this is fine and dandy, but I would like to have the mini-map just to be able to show you that Shoxy, he's alone completely. His other two teammates are just sitting in upper dark. Nobody there to follow it up. They aren't really trying to take it out. And then the bomb is dropped in mid. Alone. A guy pushes mid doors alone. It's just really, I mean, it's wonky right now. G2, they're making a lot of very painful mistakes.
You have to expect that they are probably in full-on panic mode here. This is a collective team tilt. Nobody can hold on, and they're all sliding over the edge right now. Fallen, grenade to take out Body. They're going to try and jump him. This may be his first death. Finally, they take care of the raid boss. It happened. I'm not sure it's going to win them the round, but that has got to feel a little bit good. Cold Sierra going to pick it up 17-1, and they finally ended.
He got one with a nade, too, by the way. He
yeah.
throws the HE and then pins Smith to the wall. But, yeah, I mean, this is just full-on style here from Fallen. Boom.
Even mid-air. I mean, what do you do at this point in time? SK, the money is now officially out of control. Fallen has 13,000. Taco has 11,000. So G2, they're not going to force SK to eco anytime soon, and that's a good shot. Patient play from Taco, not going to try for the shoulder shot there, just waiting until Shox is all the way out in the middle, and there's no follow-up.
We're seeing a really good variety here of setups from SK Gaming. Shoxy comes around that corner, and he's looking at doors where Fur has been playing pretty much the entire half, and this is the round where they change it up, where Taco's just holding from window with that AWP. Shoxy, not pre-aiming that angle, just gets tagged. So this, I mean, G2, they can't get anything to go right here. SK Gaming, everything is falling so nice and neat into place. Double spray for FNX on the B side at the end. It's completely shutting G2 out, and it's a 12-1 scoreline right now. G2 not able to just do anything here versus SK Gaming. I mean, SK Gaming, this is that worst-case scenario that I was talking about at the beginning of the half, where on CT side Dust 2, if a couple of things go your way, you can just look completely dominant. And it leaves your opponents just wondering what can they do against Lady Luck and against skill like this.
I mean, we're seeing something that is just a missing component in this G2 team, because when SK lost that first map, they looked defeated, and then they came back into it. They were mentally ready to take on the fight. When G2 lost on Train, it did not seem like they managed to pick themselves up into the next map here, into Dust 2. They just couldn't really bring it back, and that's really important. SK are benefiting hugely from that right now. I just have no idea. I mean, at this point in time, Fallen is 2 kills away from having as many as the entire G2 team. That's where we're at.
17-3-1. He's even shared with his teammates 3 assists. You know, he's not hogging it all for himself. He's willing to share, as a good leader should. I mean, let's see. I mean, it is going to be the A split. We haven't really seen them go long in quite some time. So Shoxy going to lead the way. FNX going to mow him down. There's Fallen missing the shot. This is the opening. The big play is possible here now for G2. They've got the man advantage going on to the A site.
We'll see if they can close this one out. They are they gonna try and run boost their way past? That was maybe the most pathetic run boost that I have ever seen, but they did make it across safely. Taco gonna go for a bit of a fight against Scream, and he wins it. Now it's a 2-on-2. They're making their way along G2. They set this up nicely. Surely they can close this one out. Taco alone, 1-on-2. They try for a boost. Very dangerous. He's got the AK. He's getting closer. Hasn't reloaded yet. Gonna go for the spray. He wins it against 1, but Smith will save the round with a double kill, and G2 gonna make it a 2nd round for themselves.
Very well done there. That was a fantastic shot from Scream. FNX could have reigned supreme there. And Scream, with the kill, he gets picked off early, but it looked like he spotted both players. With how the rest of G2 reacted to the situation, they didn't care about Catwalk or CT at all at that point. So it looks like Scream, even in dying, he set his teammates up with all the info necessary to win that round. So G2 showing that they still have some fight in them. 12-2, massive lead for SK Gaming, but G2 still willing to go toe-to-toe here. 4 rifles in the AWP. Smith's the only man really with utility apart from body. The rest of them are pretty broke right now, so again, they have to hope that SK Gaming gets so overconfident that they're going to start making mistakes. And look at this. It's like 4 people in mid right now for SK Gaming. What is going on?
I don't know what we just saw, but yeah, they did all just sort of congregate in the middle and then fall away. FNX goes down at long. Fallen there to pick up the angle. Very dangerous. We saw what happened last time. If you miss a shot right here, then they're going to hunt you down on long and right around the corner. Shot's going to be walking in. Flashbang comes out. Timing couldn't be better.
Oh, that shoulder peek. It works. Fur going to get caught by RPK. RPK traded by Cole, but still, they've got full control of the A site now, G2. Everything going their way in these last 2 rounds. coldzera and Taco, well, just Taco now in a 1v4. Well, tough scenario for him, but it's the 15th round. There's no saving. Just get in here and take the fight if you can.
I mean, it's good that they probably are going to be picking up this last round here. Taco's been playing pretty well, but I don't see him winning a 1v4. But you've got to feel like it's just way too late. I doubt they'll be celebrating all that much, but they will get the 3rd round to the 12 of SK here. This is the 3rd map. Winner gets to go on and play in the semifinals tomorrow. And right now, I mean, it's looking like it's going to be SK 12-3, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We'll be right back after a quick break with the 2nd half.
I think they are definitely outpacked.
The B site, 1 in mid. He's going to have that crossfire.
And is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kingwin, iBuyPower, Best Buy, Totino's, Acer, and Xfinity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are witnessing SK decimating G2 in the third map here, the quarterfinals, Intel Extreme Masters Oakland. It's been just shocking at this point. It has been a team effort, but still, the head of that spear right now has fallen. 17-3 is the scoreline. Just, I mean, the road for any kind of a comeback here, I don't know what it would look like, Semna.
It'd be a long, drawn-out, bloody struggle in which G2 basically pull a fallen. Shoxy comes alive and goes 14-0 without dying and basically leads the way for his team, because otherwise it's just not going to happen. Good night. FNX is there with a double kill on long, and that pretty much ends it.
And nobody's even won a seaside pistol round so far. If SK do it here, what's left? And Scream picking up some very good kills, but in the middle, Fur is going to be going down, and suddenly we are in a 2-on-2. coldzera going to make the cross here with no smoke or anything and go straight for the bomb plant. He's even going to plant it. Oh, he could have planted really risky then, but now he knows they're up catwalk. He's a little bit worried. Taco taking a fight with Shox. If he wins that, I don't know what the body could do anymore. Taco, long fight coming in here, and he hits the headshot now. All on body, out in the open. And look at that, they're going to double peek him. He gets one headshot, and that drops the bomb now. Taco pushing closer. He has the Glock, and Body still has no cover back here. He's going to be going down. Double kill for Taco. 13-3. I don't know how many more nails in the coffin before it goes into the ground here, Sam. There can't be many.
Well, I mean, of course, it had to be SK to break the streak at this point. Each team on all three maps basically has won their CT pistol until now. SK Gaming pick up the T-side pistol, 13-3, 10-round lead here, and this is the last map of this series. This is this is to decide who goes on to the semifinals. And G2 are getting blown away. What is this?
Completely annihilated at the moment, out on long. Taco does what he does best, run and gun UMP to pick up a double kill there. And you saw the great smoke that coldzera put out from T-spawn. It lands actually as the CTs get there, and it just denies that long control very, very efficiently. Now, Body and Scream, they do have a scout, they do have a deagle. It's getting harder and harder right now, Summer, to find the silver lining here for G2.
Yeah, no, life is looking pretty grim. Scream is now the last man alive here. Fallen tracks down Body. In the meantime, he'll get an easy kill there on Fur. Looked like Fur was trading out from the UMP or something like that. Wrong gun to have at that time. But still, it's a 1-on-3 with the bomb heading over towards the B site, and there's a man waiting outside along. Exactly. It's just inevitable. It's just so painful to watch for G2. You can fight the good fight, but 14-3, and G2, they're on $2,000.
I mean, painful, yes, on the one hand, but also just quite shocking and quite exciting to see SK back at this level, you know.
That's one way.
Just get the 4 scouts and the 5-7.
Why not? Let's go, boys. Everybody in mid. See if you can find the pick, and they can't even find the pick.
No, had a bit of a fight with Fur and FNX, but no kill happening yet. It's not a bad... Not a bad choice, though. I mean, like we used to say, that there really is no wrong play at this point in time. You just have to try. Shox will be taking out Taco, so that's a start.
I think they're trying to figure out right now, like, this must be a troll. How do we deal with this now? Because you already have Shox pushed out again, mid-doors. He's waiting for that lower dark peak. coldzera going to walk right into it. Cold wins the duel. However, Shoxy gets taken out. So we're into the 4-on-4. Fur and FNX have both been tagged, however. And it does look like they want to take over long as well. They have the nades necessary to do this. Still 2 smokes left to use here for SK Gaming.
Smith's going to be walking in catwalk there, just listening if anyone is there. He's not really spotted out coldzera yet. And SK really slowing this to a crawl, but they have the time for it. We're still at 50 seconds here.
And, well, yeah, exactly. With 50 seconds left, they don't even commit fully to long. They're just forcing G2 all over the place. G2, now that they haven't spotted anything, are going to spread back out around the map again. Scream and Body are in mid. Smoke goes down on Headshot Box to make things even more murky here for G2. And this is going to come down to a risk, and Body's looking to try and take it. He's got eyes on top mid right now. We'll see if he can actually get the man that's going to be coldzera coming out through lower dark in just a second.
Well, that's the really big risk here. Point blank, he does get the shot in, but it's not a kill. And now trapped up here in Goose. Smith's Molotov going to land right on him, and Fur coming in from long to take him out. RPK and Scream both down. That's coldzera in lower dark, picking up a quad kill now. Actually overtaken Fallen in kills. He's at 22-8. That is still a very impressive ratio. And this is match and map point, ladies and gentlemen. G2 would need to win 12 rounds in a row to even fight for overtime here.
Shocks with the FAMAS. Okay, then. Could have gone for Deagle, could have done something like that, get some nades, but no. He's going to have the rifle, and we'll see if he can make anything happen with it. Smith with that CZ-75, setting up the push. Nicely done with the flash, but he's not able to connect with the shots. And a whole host of people waiting for him on the other side of that smoke. There's just no way out. Fallen will eventually find the kill there, and it's on Shoxy now with that FAMAS. He's pushed all the way up to top mid, but they were waiting for it. FNX not going to get caught off guard.
Wow, this is just one of those games where nothing is working. G2 destabilized during train and they never came back from it. SK just would not allow it. Now it's a 3-on-5 here. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to even imagine what you can really learn from this. I think this comes down to sort of a team chemistry thing. You need to be able to bounce back from a big loss, and I don't know how you even do that. Fallen going to take out RPK, who just tired of playing.
He wanted a Viking funeral, Anders. That's what happened. You know, they didn't have the boat, but they had the fire for him.
Yeah, I mean, one is good enough, I suppose. Body and Scream left here, just trying to see if they can maybe land another headshot or two. And even now, even all the way at the edge, SK slow play it. They're not going to throw anything away here.
Take your time, savor this, SK, as you completely and utterly destroy your opponents. Taco with the final kill in this best of 3. This quarterfinal is over. It is going to be SK moving on to the semifinals, and just a dominant performance from them. Truly impressive work. G2, last 2 maps of this best of 3, never able to get their heads into the game. Just not able to show us anything at all.
I mean, a scary message being sent to whoever they're going to be playing next. This is obviously very, very worrisome that they can be at this kind of a level here. I think that's going to be Astralis, right, if I'm not mistaken. So they had better watch out. This looks like an SK team that could really go the distance, which many people did predict. I think, in fact, the majority did. But right now, that prediction is looking rock solid. What an incredible performance coming out of the Brazilian side here. And I don't even know what to say, especially that last map, out of control.
Yeah, just running away with it on the CT side of Dust 2, it just looks so painful. When your aggression pays off, your peaks pay off, you leave G2 wondering what they need to do next. How, like, when they get hard countered immediately in the pistol round, don't forget, SK, they had the most beautiful setup, 3 players waiting on catwalk, and G2 tried to slow play it. They went over towards upper halls, but then they walked right into the trap, and it felt like the entire half played out that way, where they were just constantly a step behind.
Just extremely well done. Fallen ended up at 24-4 as a scoreline. He's on the stage with OJ. Please take it away, OJ.
Thank you very much, Anders. We'll come to the team in just a second, but you yourself, some of the plays there, outrageous.
Outrageous, yeah, it was a great match. They got us the first map, but we kept our heads up, because we knew we had a good train. And Dust 2 is a map that we have been working hard, such as Nuke, but for some reason we can't perform that good on Nuke yet, so we're going to keep performing better.
Well, it's great to talk to you as part of the Totino's player interview. As a team, I know you took a break after one of the majors, after your major win. Do you feel now you're starting to get your sharpness back? Do you think the few losses you've had, the fact that you've not looked at the top of your game, was that just rustiness?
No, I think it's a question of map pool. We have been working to get better on some maps that we are not good on the past. And that's giving our opponents some chance, to be honest. We have a lot of good maps, but on others we need some work. But nonetheless, I think G2 is a great team. They played super well, and it was a hard match as well, as always.
So Astralis in the semi-finals, their new lineup, obviously they've changed slightly. You've played them once, I think, and you've been beaten by them. Do you have anything you're going to change when you take them on in the semis tomorrow?
Astralis, revenge is coming for you, my friend.
Oh! It was a fabulous win. It's great to talk to you again. Fallen and the rest of the SK Gaming boys. And that was 5 Brazilians looking very, very good. As we hand back to the analyst desk, there is one Brazilian up there which is also looking very, very good, which Alex the Machine Richardson can tell us about right now.
Thanks very much, OJ. Yes, a quick reminder that I did have the Brazilian experience here in Oakland.
What do you mean, Alex? Can you specify?
Sure. So I had various parts of my lower body hair removed with hot wax for charity, and I'm currently walking like a cowboy because of it. Joining me, though, is YNK and Daze back onto topic. Swiftly, not what we bargained for. We set the scene. You know, the words out of your mouth were 50-50. This is going to be a coin toss. G2's best map, not SK's best map. It turns out, I mean, SK, they did their homework. Fallen in the interview there with OJ so eloquently put it. We've been working hard on Dust 2. Was there evidence of that hard work on their CT side, Dazed?
Oh, absolutely. I think they read G2 as a team very, very well. I don't know how much homework SK did, but Semler talked about it during the cast, like the hard counters, just from pistol round and onward. If you watched FNX and coldzera during the gun rounds, they rotated absolutely perfectly. There was multiple rounds where FNX early rotated off long, didn't even watch it, went past Fallen, straight towards mid B, straight towards catwalk to impact the rounds. Then, when they read that they were going to go long as G2, guess what? coldzera was long. He was sitting at the blue band, I believe it was. They shut that down, and from there it was just clockwork. You know, G2 won their one round after that or whatever, and they got immediately reset. Yeah. But, you know, at that point it was like 10-1 before G2 got another couple rounds, so it was just domination.
So when SK are controlling a game like that, how much do we read into the score of G2, the frags they're providing? I mean, how much do we kind of start thinking there was an underperformance as well from the French side?
I mean, there definitely was. It just shows you the level of dominance that SK exerted, and it's extremely hard to play against a CT-sided Opera who's on fire as much as Fallen was. I mean, he didn't die for the better part of that first half, and you can see how G2, they realize that they're getting picked off as well early in the round, so they try to group up, right, to avoid that. But they can't just make the entry kill, right? It doesn't, if you don't get, if two of your players die before you get onto the bomb site, even if you do get into the bomb site eventually, it's going to be a relatively easy retake for the CTs.
While you continue to talk about Fallen and his prowess, of course, 20 frags and 4 deaths, we can just bring up some of the plays he made. There wasn't always the AWP he needed to do some damage. You can see mowing down 4 people in quick succession.
Yeah, and I mean, they won that round, but the round afterwards, FNX picked off Shoxy at long with an up, and then they tried, G2 smartly tried to attack mid to B against umps, right? But coldzera was still able to make it 3v5. They win that round with only 1 death. On the third round, when they have umps, and G2 has full AKs. 1 death.
It's just kind of a bitter pill to swallow, and you realize just how little damage you did to them.
The thing about SK is they have so much knowledge of how to read the other team. Like, they really did know exactly what G2 was doing before they did it, because they got in that groove, and G2 tries one thing, it doesn't work. Oh, let's try this on the other side of the map. Right. And when you have players like coldzera playing that swing position now, he's not really playing mid-B very much, he reads the game like nobody else. And he was always one step ahead.
It is insane, actually, when you see the correlation between coldzera not necessarily having the most frags, but doing the most ADR. Like, it's ridiculous how often we look at the scoreboard and his ADR is above almost all of the other players of SK.
I think he had something ridiculous. Like, his only tournament where he had a below 1 rating was Katowice. This year.
The only tournament.
Every other tournament, every other LAN tournament, he's had over 1 rating, so which is just insane consistency. Sure, his team was the best team in the world for a while. He has great teammates, but still to have that level of performance is pretty insane. And I thought for me that the apparent example of how SK was really prepared for G2 on Dust 2 was the round where G2 went for their smoke execute towards A, and SK just won the round flawlessly. Like, FNX was being aggressive precisely because he knows that even if that smoke falls, the players are going to be pushing, so he just plays super aggressive, and G2 doesn't get a single kill in that round.
Yeah, complete stomp for our final map. But before, you know, we start talking about that semi-final that has been locked in, I do just want to kind of reflect upon the series as a whole, Sam. Fallen, in his own words, with it, OJ stated, we've done equal amounts of homework for Nuke. We didn't see that. I mean, G2, they started with a map win. Surely, I mean, we can give them some credit. We can find some silver linings for the French side here.
And you know, even though they dominated them on Dust 2, I think if they play that map 10 different times, G2 could definitely beat them 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
So they, like G2, I give them so much credit because I really do believe that they gave themselves the absolute best opportunity for them to win in this best of 3.
Right. So with the vetoes, with the performance we saw from them, even on train, you were credited.
Even on train, I credited them. I think they did what they needed to do to possibly get that win. It's just, when you start out that poorly on Dust 2, the catwalk setup that they had on Pistol, just annihilating them, winning the hump round, right? That round, G2 definitely could have won because they didn't hard counter them or anything. They just won it as individuals. But from then on, SK, I really think like they knew what Shoxy and the G2 guys were going to do before they even knew.
And that's a very scary premise. I mean, if you do look at the ADR and you look at the numbers, you can't, I mean, when you get stumped like this, you can't sit there pointing fingers, can you? I mean, when everyone is almost all beneath double digits, Scream an exception, Yanko, you just accept it, you cut your losses, you say, right, Dust 2, we got smashed. Do you agree with Sam's sentiments that they play 10 times, G2 would be picking up 2 or 3 wins?
I mean, for sure, because it is their best map. They've shown that they can be proficient on it in the past as well. This is a rare occasion in a sense that where everything goes right for SK, they get good reads, and their plays are also very, very on point individually. And on the other hand, G2, yes, being a bit unlucky, but also not showing up in the decider game.
And can we get excited for the SK Astralis semi-final, Sam? Is this something that fans can get excited for?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Astralis is looking great. And like we talked about earlier when we were, talking about the tournament as a whole, if there's 10 different tournaments in Counter-Strike now, we could see 10 different winners.
Yeah.
Well, probably not 10, but...
You're close to it. I mean, we've seen 7.
Last 7 big tournaments, 7 different winners. So.
Yeah, and the definition of big we're using is like over 250,000, I believe, which is, of course, putting Oakland in that category. We'll be seeing if we do get a different winner tomorrow, but the games do continue today. We're going to be seeing our second quarterfinal after a break. Another Brazilian side takes to the stage. Unfortunately, no North Americans for the North American crowd, but plenty from South America. It's going to be Immortals versus NIP after our break. You will not want to miss this. We'll be talking all about that in just a moment.
Honeymoon phase that we all always talk about, but they are very, very dependent on their individuals performing very well because they didn't have enough time to practice, and they're generally not that type of a team.
Reliant on their individuals. That's kind of a similar storyline we framed for G2. Would you say there's some parallels there, Sam?
You know, I actually do think they have some good teamwork. But, you know, going back to that group stage, against NIP, this is going to be very tough for them to win a best of 3. You know, during that group stage, I think there was, what, 2-3 overtime games they won, and then like a 14-16. So all the games were very, very, very close. Generally, that means a lot of 50-50 rounds. Maybe they were winning and came out on top in that case. So having said that, if you're asking me who might end up winning this, I think NiP has a pretty big edge here, especially based off the maps that we're going to be seeing, because NiP is absolutely going to remove Mirage. That's their normal veto, and that is Immortal's probably best map.
So you're already giving NIP the edge. I think that's the same vibe as we had coming into the first quarterfinal. SK, no doubt, the favorites. Already you're suggesting maps could be pretty up in the air, as were some of the results in the group stage. Yanko, we'll bring up the vetoes now just to get that said and done, and then we can start talking more specifics. But for you, are these bans, these two initial bans, kind of crystal clear?
I think pretty much. I think Immortals will have to veto Nuke because NIP is pretty strong. They've shown that they are willing to play Nuke here and there, but they haven't really shown much on the map. So after that, I agree. NIP will veto Mirage. That's their go-to veto. So when it comes to picks, it depends. I'm guessing that Immortals will go for something like Cobblestone. I mean, they can't really pick a map where they will have a big edge over NIP. Cobblestone is a good map for NIP as well. So yeah, the vetoes are there. And then NIP, they can go for a map like Cash, that was their comfort with. But I would prefer them to go perhaps for a map like Overpass. That's something that doesn't suit Immortals that much, and NIP can have a bigger edge there.
No, I absolutely agree. I think NiP, we might see them go Cash here, but I think the smarter play is to go for Overpass. Right. Immortals has shown good performances on Cash, and that might be their pick right now if NiP doesn't pick it. I would say they're... Ooh. Oh, so they do go with Cobble, and NiP goes with Dust too. So,
so throw that out the window.
Yeah. I mean, interesting, out of all the maps, you go for Dust 2, which is a puggy map. Even if you're not practiced on it as much, you can always go down to and play your spawns and do simple stuff, right? Rely on aim duels and such. So I'm surprised. I would have preferred if they went for a map like Overpass, because that's where you can utilize your team play, which I think NIP has more than Immortals at the moment, and you can use that to your advantage.
And another thing is, I just don't think Immortals Overpass is as good as their other maps. I think we might see a ban here from it. But, you know, I think this is interesting map picks. Immortals on Cobble, I think that's fine for them.
I think for them, it's the toss-up between, you know, that being their best map, and it's going to annoy me that I can't remember the other one, the one that they...
Mirage.
Mirage, thank you. Excuse me, it was banned out. But, like, statistically, it was Cobble. I spoke to them. They are convinced it's Mirage. I'd like to see how this one does go out, and it does look like we're going to be seeing Train as the third. Immortals were given the choice, though. You said it doesn't suit their playstyle. NIP relentlessly banning Cash now. This is just becoming a running trend now. They've stepped away from that being the comfort NIP pick.
The thing is, when you play a map as much as NIP does, and when you're good on it as they are on Cash, then teams start figuring you out. And you don't practice the map as much because you're winning, right? You're focusing on getting other maps, being stronger on other maps, becoming better on them. So they maybe feel that they need to introduce new things on Cash, and they'd rather avoid it for now.
We did get to see Cobblestone from Immortals in the group stages up against G2. We can see some of the damage that they did do, given a 16-4 result. It was very overwhelming walking through the French side on a map that they have. They had a lot of, I mean, I don't want to say hair-raising defenses, but they just kind of, G2 crashed against the wall that was the Brazilians at this point, Sam.
Well, Immortals on Cobble is one of the quickest rotating teams you will ever see. They rotate extremely fast out of B into A, and likewise going from A into B. They try to fight you as a team when you actually hit the site, and Henny has been very, very impressive on Cobble. I talked a little bit about it in the group stage. This is the map that they won 16-4. Every other map in the group stage was extremely close, overtime 16-14s. But Henny has been very impressive on this map because he's able to get the information early and still be able to fall back now. Before, in earlier iterations of Immortals, and just even going back 6 months ago, Henny would fight. He'd be a liability for his team around there, and now we're seeing him playing a lot smarter. And I'm telling you, this is something that NiP doesn't have. They do not have an opera like Henny who could just change rounds by himself.
But my question to you is it necessary? We have seen rosters in the past not have a primary AWP and find success. I will always use Virtus Pro as an example, but I mean, it's throughout the history of CSGO, you don't always need that star form in the form of an AWP.
Not necessarily. I mean, it certainly helps. It allows you it allows for more options in your play, right? You can utilize that offer to create openings. But I think that Henny will have a much more difficult task against NIP because they're a more structured team. They have a lot of strategies. They they make great use of their utility, which will make it way, way harder for him to just have straight aim tools, right? He would have to play around smokes, flashes, all of that stuff. So I think that this will be a true test for Immortals here.
No, sorry, go Sam.
Going back to what you said about having like a great hopper who's just going to put up 40s, it's definitely not necessary in order to win a tournament or anything, but it always gives you like a win condition, right? Whenever you have an hopper like Kenny S or something, like Kenny S, you could put him with 4 pretty mediocre tournaments. They could still beat like a #1 team at times just because he could go off at times.
Right. The Titan vibe, where you see 40 bombs being dropped and just a 16-14 result at the end of it. Now, yes, Henny does have that star potential, but what I want to ask you now is less talking about individuals, but actually just more of a generic question. They've played 2 maps in total. NIP and Immortals meet very, very rarely. It was actually the big win for Immortals, which kind of put them on the map over at DreamHack. I remember that one in the grand final, in front of a home crowd, besting the Swedish favorites. So that was a big pickup for the Brazilians. But you played 2 maps offline against each other. How much does that influence it? I mean, when you have, you know, your Na'Vi VP or your El Clasico matchups that we do see all too often, this is very far away from that, Yanko. My question to you is, does that have a difference when it comes into results and it comes into the way the game goes?
It does. It's not just about the team, that you don't play the team. You don't even play the players as much, right? So obviously, being from different regions, like the players in Europe played against each other so many times that you actually know, like Getrite, for example, I know that he also studies tendencies of players in certain positions where he's going to have a, you know, a duel with them. So he knows, like, if they throw a smoke, where they like to stand. And you don't really study a team that you don't meet that often, like Immortals here. But even with that, Immortals have had a roster change, so it would still be pretty hard to, you know, just get a very, very good read on them, because they're doing a lot of things on the fly.
And just final thoughts then, before the players do walk out on stage, anything to add to that discussion, Dazed?
Yeah, as you said, one of the things about Immortals, though, is they have pretty unique players. I think Henny and Phelps play a very different play style, especially Phelps, with how aggressive he could be. It's very hard to game plan for, so when you don't play against players like them, sometimes it could be troublesome. Having said that, Nip, so much experience on their team, I don't think they're going to be surprised by anything that Immortals pulls out.
Well, they're certainly going to be surprised by the amount of noise the North American crowd is about to make, because it is time for our second quarterfinal teams to meet the Oracle Arena. It's over to OJ to get these guys in their seats.
Thank you very much, Alex. Yes, he just said the word noise as we head into our second quarterfinal here on our first day in Oakland at the Intel Extreme Masters. So then, Oakland, are you ready? Now you see, I did this big old hype thing earlier on where I said, you know, one of the best crowds I've ever been in front of, one of the best and loudest crowds ever. So, Oakland, are you ready? Damn right you're ready. So let's get on with our second quarter-final. This is for the chance to play FaZe in the semis tomorrow. It is the new guard versus the old guard. So please welcome to the stage the Immortals. Look at that face. Pure concentration on his face. He comes out. Steel, I mentioned you as the new guard. Do you feel like that at the moment? You're this up-and-coming team. You seem to be going on to do good things.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, but not actually close to a god, you know? God is something like falling from SK. I'm just getting there.
Well, how much do you take from what SK have achieved? Because they have just been so good over the past 12 months. You could say the best team in the world. They are from the same country as you. What are you taking from them?
Yeah, they are our role models. They are our inspiration. They are our idols. So they are pretty much everything for us.
Watching your interview earlier on, you talked about doing new things, trying new ideas, trying to come up with a new meta. What are those new things you're trying to do?
Actually, at the moment, we are just plugging. We are just like going free for all, and we're going to use the skill that these boys have.
And talk me through how you take on a team like NIP. If you're the new guard, they're the old guard. They've been around so long. They've won so much. How do you take them on?
It's going to be a pleasure to play there in front of this beautiful crowd.
Look at that. That is how you hype a crowd. Put your hands together for Steel and the Immortals. He's so laid back. It's the Brazilian way. Samba CS. So, They need to take on a team. I called them the old guard. They have a member with them. It is a new lineup. First tournament as this lineup. Please welcome to the stage, NIP! You see, if we're talking about laid back, you feel laid back. I called you the old guard. Is that how it feels?
I don't know. I mean, we've been around for a long time, but we're still hungry to win, so.
Still hungry to win. And Pitt is now part of this team. This is the first tournament with him in the lineup. How's he settling in?
I mean, he's a good player, and we've missed him a lot. He's an important player in our team. He's a very tactical guy. He knows all the smokes we need him to know, and he's important.
Was it difficult? Makalele did so well when he came in during that injury break. Was it difficult for him to gel with the team, knowing what had gone before him?
I don't think so. I mean, we all like Makalele as well. We played with him before, and he's a really explosive player, and I think he did a great job for us.
And listening to the analysts before, they said you don't play cash anymore. Why no more cash?
We're saving it for the major.
Saving it for the major. And if they're talking about doing new things, trying new things, coming up with a new meta, is that what you're doing as well?
Not really.
Fine, fair enough then. Well, listen, time to take your place over there. This is our second quarter-final here at the Intel Extreme Masters. Remember, it is a share of $300,000, and that silver trophy, the plate behind me that they are playing for, the winner of this goes on to take on the FaZe Clan. So, let's get this on. Oakland, if you're ready, give me a yeah! Give me a hell yeah! Give me a goddamn hell yeah! I love it! Machine, on the Xfinity desk, it's over to you.
OJ, you sound like a preacher up there.
Actually, Exist is his favorite person right now.
It seems.
He loves those interviews.
He loves those answers where he's just like, okay, never mind, I tried. Fun fact about that plate, by the way, before we do close things out, it's got every single Intel Extreme Masters event carved into it, all the way from 2006 right up until today here in Oakland. And we'll be finding out who's going to lift it. First, they have to win the quarterfinal. Whether it will be the Brazilians or NIP, we'll find out. But the first map is Dust 2, and that's where we spend the remainder of our time here talking about. We did just see one side of SK's Dust 2, and in the interview, Sam, we saw basically Steel saying, they are our idols, we base a lot of our play around them. Are there genuinely similarities between SK and Immortals in that regard?
Oh, absolutely. I think anytime, first off, just playing against them all the time, you're going to take things that you think are good that they do and work for them and try to adapt it into your own play style. And not only that, when you're trying to improve, oftentimes you look at the best teams in the world and try to take from them as well. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities.
Saving cash for the major, Yanko. How much do you think that's
not?
That's definitely not legit, right? Just clarifying.
No, they first have to play the qualifiers. So NIP, if you remember, they lost to Flipside in that decider game and lost their legend spot. But yeah, seeing as how they played Dust 2 first, and you could hear it in Steel's interview as well, that they want to, let their individuals basically go ham, and Dust 2 is a perfect map for that. And I feel it's a, in a sense, a must-win map for them. I feel if it gets to train, that's where NIP will be able to close things out, even if it's 1-1. So actually, for Immortals to win here, it probably has to be a 2-0.
Okay, you mirror those thoughts, Sam, that train is a no-go for Immortals? It has to be a Dust 2, and it has to be a Cobblestone?
I actually kind of do. I think, their chances on train are pretty slim. Train's a very solid train, or NIP is a very solid train team, and we haven't really seen much from Immortals on train. Having said that, I think it's very, very NIP-sided right now. A lot of the wins that we have been seeing from Immortals, I think in order for them to beat a real tier 1, like really, really good team in a best of 3 like NIP, they probably have to have like a Mirage in there, which I think they could be anybody on. Unfortunately, that's going to be removed for them. And NIP is so solid on all these maps. And once you get a feel for how the Immortals is going to play, if Henny's over-peaking and maybe it works one map, it might not work the next because they're going to be ready for it. Same with Phelps. If his over-aggression is going to work and that's how they win one of the maps, I don't think that's going to work on the upcoming map as well.
Something to consider is that, you know, just going to your Mirage point for a moment, that we did see Na'Vi versus Immortals on Mirage, and that was the big win for Immortals, is taking Na'Vi down a peg in the group stage. They also played Dust 2, which is what they're actually going to have to do, versus Astralis, and conceded that. Now, Janko, Astralis are no slouch on Dust 2, surely taking 15 rounds versus the Danes, who at one point or another you described as being one of the best Dust 2 teams. Surely that gives us a good sign of things to come for the Immortals.
I mean, they can definitely put up a good fight. Also, when you look at the map itself, Dust 2 is a map where actually an Opper can do a lot of work. And then Sam was pointing out that NIP doesn't have an explosive Opper like Henny. Yes, Pith and Forest both, they pick up the op, depending, like Pith on the CT side towards that A bomb site most likely. But that's a type of a, you know, Smith style where he's passive towards the car area, trying to get a kill or two, then they're going to play for the retake. Henny is a player who can be, you know, boosted up cat. He can hunt for those kills, try to create an opening. And that's basically what Immortals will have to try and do. That is their win condition, like put their star players in a position to succeed, to try and create those openings.
So it's all, you're suggesting that it comes down to a lot of putting Henny and Phelps in the right place. Am I acknowledging the two right names there for Immortals as stars?
Yeah, I mean, but Phelps, honestly, he's like, it's so weird seeing him because he's manages to sneak through like in a perfect position through a smoke, even walking through his own smokes. So basically he puts himself in good positions.
Right. Doesn't even need a team around him.
But having said that, the way Phelps does it a lot of the time, I just think stylistically, the way that Nip plays, if you ever play against like a Get Right and a Forest and an Exist, it's a lot of the time very hard to surprise them with things like that. They're usually ready for it, especially someone like Get Right. So I don't know if Phelps is going to be able to have that same success that we saw him, you know, with that in the group stage. Having said that, when you talk about big games, a lot of the time Phelps doesn't have the biggest statistical games, but he gets huge impact kills. Like just that one kill really can shape up the round because it's so crucial and impactful. And if he's not able to get that, I think the dominoes start falling down really fast for Immortals.
A lot of weight then on the Immortals' shoulders. It does seem like we've quite appropriately framed them as the underdog here. The question then for me is, what do NIP do right on Dust 2? You talked before about a very flexible CT setup from the previous game. Is that something that we're going to be seeing NIP adopt? Is that the way forward for a successful defense on Dust 2?
I mean, for most teams, yes. For NIP, I don't think it is necessarily like that because I don't know how much they're going to be moving Pith around too much. And a lot of the time when you talk about a dynamic CT setup, that's what you talk about. You mainly talk about the op, moving from position to position to position. NIP historically have been one of the Dust 2 teams that is just like so solid at every individual at holding their spots. So I'm not sure if we'll see as much movement as we have seen with like SK players, for instance.
And the big question, I know you don't do them, Janko, and you've outlined the win conditions, but just your last final nugget of thought for NIP coming into Immortals on Dust 2.
I disagree with their pick. I would have preferred it way more if they picked Overpass or even Train earlier. Cash, all of those maps I think would have been a better choice for them than Dust 2. That being said, them picking it obviously means that, you know, they have something in store. There's a reason why they decided to go for that map over others, and I just think their preparation and their routine in general will be enough to overcome Immortals here.
It's time for our second quarterfinal. Right, thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate your input. The scene has been set by these guys to my left. After a very short break, it's Dust 2, the first map of our second quarterfinal. Will the Immortals underdogs continue to show what Brazilian CS is made of, or will it be NIP who picked up that first map win and one step closer to meeting FaZe? Find out in just a moment.
Intel Extreme Masters Oakland is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kingwin, Apoio, Best Buy, Totinos, Acer, and Xfinity.
Hello, Oakland. Yes, we're ready to go. Our second quarterfinal. And, of course, we've got the legend.